Adio, Chukuna Malugo Yobi Adio Cha.
For I throw compatriots, Nigerians go back to serve our fatherland in love and strength. The labor our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. Oh God of creation, direct our noble cause. Lead us right, help our youth the truth to know. In love and honesty to grow and live in just and true. To build a nation where
I must say the second verse of this song is it's almost about the conversation we have been having here about guiding us to see there's know the truth. And I think something the language that was used is quite the people that wrote this thing they were thinking I don't know how they lost their way in love and honesty to grow. Honesty, that aspect is very, very important. In a way, nobody needs to tell me that. Guide our leaders right. I don't know whether they're guiding them right. They are just going walla walla all over the place. But these are direct our noble. That direction of our noble cause is almost like saying we are all here for the betterment of Nigeria, but somehow we still disagree on how to get there. It's a noble endeavor to try to want to address issues that are happening within your country. It's quite a powerful verse. And I didn't know it existed until I saw this national anthem. I don't know whether any of us have ever sang it in school before while we're growing up. I definitely haven't. So yeah, let's get back to the conversation. I think it is it Masca? Masca was the one to speak regarding this. Do you see this coalition that is forming being able to dethrone the current party from office?
All right. Where do I start? In my opinion, the coalition will not be able to take power from Tinubu. I don't want to even go deeply into that discussion because, in my opinion, also, uh, we Nigerians by now should understand that it's not about who is in power. That's not the issue. I've said it even on this platform. If you take historically, with the exception of Tinubu, who clearly, even before he came into power, a lot of people are not okay with his candidacy. I have done the analysis. Shagari was a good president as a person, as an individual. You could take him as a gentleman. But what happened during his tenure? We knew what happened. Yeah, they had some lofty stuff, but in the end, some powerful people waylaid the whole thing. If you take Obasanjo also, you would say to an extent, he was an okay guy. Of course, he created a big chunk of the problems we're dealing with, in my opinion. Uh, if you take even Goodluck, he was a good guy. Before Buhari came into power, I had an instance where somebody removed his shirt. I wanted to fight me because I was telling them that, look, this guy that you people are talking about as a messiah, he's not going to bring about any fundamental change because the issues are not about personalities. It's a systemic problem. The system itself is faulty. Nigeria is like a car. The engine has knocked, and you can't even, the engine, the kind of engine you have for that car is no longer being manufactured. So you can't even go and say you want to buy a new engine. The engine is knocked. Every part of that car is not working, but we keep arguing about a driver. So when you talk about 2027, if we get an angel to become the president, the problems will still persist. So I personally, yes, I can, for political reasons, just to, in my place, they call it wasokokol. It's like just to exercise your brain, you can engage in that argument. But the truth is that
is it that we are mistaken when we call people good men? Somebody can be a good man as a good man, but a good man as a leader, before we call leaders good, should we characterize it based on them being leaders? Because I guess some people will say, okay, they may be good people, but they are not good leaders. Because to be a good leader, it's like an athlete. To say somebody's a good athlete,
you are still, no, for further to follow you on this tangent also, you're still talking about an individual. What I'm saying is that forget about whether the person is good or bad. The problem with Nigeria today is gone beyond who will be the leader. The
yeah,
issue is
but I
system.
think you are missing what I'm trying to say too, though.
Okay, so let me hear you out.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is that a leader should understand the system they are dealing with. To be good, you should understand the system you're dealing with.
I'll humor you, forefathers. I don't think it's a good use of time.
I can give examples.
No, I will humor you. I will humor you. Even if the good leader understands the system.
Oh, look at that. Hi. Good leaders have done it again. They've taken his power and frozen him dead in the middle of his conversation. It turns out that the light went off faster than the internet connection. That's why he was frozen inside in darkness. I hope that's not the metaphor for our people. Jonaba, welcome. So what do you make of this coalition and what are their chances?
Thank you again. There is no, I think what Masca is trying to say is that um, the coalition they're trying to build is not going to unseat Tinubu. And if at all it's unseat Tinubu, whether they are good people or bad people, there's a systematic problem that is not going to change that much. I think that's the summary of what he's saying. Of course, um, each time we have two major parties in Nigeria, the PDP and APC. Anytime you have third party, you give opportunity to the one that is in power more opportunity, whether they ring or they win. That's how it goes. And I believe we, the Nigerian people, home and abroad, need to do more of our own self because it's one among us that will become a leader. But if we have all this sentiment in our brain playing, you cannot take people away from what they believe. What they believe eventually, that's what they will become, and that's what is going to act upon. I believe our society right now, like Masca was saying, if you bring angel, it's not going to do much because we've been damaged and we are not doing anything to help ourselves. Rather, we play this stereotype game and religious game. And we here on this platform, we can call ourselves a family, but we are hostile towards each other. We don't see ourselves as one nation simply because of stereotype or tribal issues. And that is for me is from petty view of life. There is no thing that people become. The world have grown more than what it is. When things are dated, they put it behind. But we, the Africans, we play this game and the world is leaving us behind. And I hope we see things from how do we make a big nation? And a big nation meaning is that the society themselves, just like some people have said today, that when things happen in their community, they're trying to root it out. They don't want to give it oxygen so that it will not continue to manifest. But in the notion of when things happen, that we, the people, will say, okay, if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. And we cannot even handle losses simply because we think uh, each time we lose, meaning we have lost something. No, it's not true. And there is nobody, if you look at the past election, especially talking about between good luck and Buhari. You may not like Buhari, you may like anybody. It was the recklessness of Jonathan that brought Buhari to power. Buhari was the only time, the first time, I don't know about the second time, that won election clearly in Nigeria. But if you ask the people who, for some reasons, they will be like they have the result in their face. The only thing when your enemy play at you, and they're always going to know they know the capacity you're dipped inside of issues. And once you are speaking out of it and you are just speculating and you don't have the understanding, you give your enemy opportunity who knows better than you to size you up. And the way Nigerian is having conversation, especially those in abroad today, I'm more ashamed of some of those conversations than ever before because it doesn't seem that even them, the benefit of a system that nobody work for, or no, they do not work for, but they work into it, and they don't respect the same thing within our own nation as a people that we can build a better society. And this mind game that I'm better than you is what make Nigerian people steal. They think more house make them, more cars make them, and that our all our life have been built of what people think we are, and people still to do that because we think the only way we feel we are better is when when we do things to ourselves better than the other. You know, whatever the goodwill of the whatever you are expected of yourself or of other, you should know that other too can be part of it. And a good leader sacrifice so much for their people based on the depth inside. We can blame the West. Of course, we understand what has been going on. But when are we going to take responsibility of our own destiny? We are seeing other nations rising to the top, and they are rising fast because of good leader. And I hope we, the Nigerian people who claim to be giant of Africa, home and abroad, have open and genuine conversation and not be speaking to things that will escalate. And people in back home who are believing that we have seen what is humanly possible, that by that, maybe one day we can revoke, we can stand by them and lead them to a better future, rather than this conversation that is a mind-boggling here all the time. Nobody is coming to save us but us. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, the reason why I was asking those questions of Masca was because I was involved in a conversation about our culture, because I know what he was saying was basically our culture or the system. People use system culture or
No, I'm not
identity.
talking about, sorry for that. I'm not talking about culture or anything. Let me give you a simple example, what I mean by the system. Whatever happens, I can put it to you that 60 to 70% of the senators will still come back and will be the senators in 2027. Are you with me?
Yes.
They are going to continue to spend money the way they spend. They're going to continue to pad the budget the way they pad budgets. If the president decides to do good, they are going to frustrate him. And most likely, they are going to make sure that they make him to pander to their. So this is what I talk about when I say the system. It's too bogus. I don't think the idea. You look at the senators, half of them, you look at them, on what basis are they national figures? On what basis? On what basis? And of course, not to talk about even the system. When you talk about whatever party you go to, the primaries will continue to be the Nigerian political primaries, where money will continue to be a key figure. The best candidate will not be the person that will win the primaries, even if they do the coalition. The elections will be based on who will win the election, not whether this person is the best fit for this country. So this is what I mean by the system. What I really think we should be discussing as serious-minded Nigerians is, how do we get to the promised land? I can assure you that this political process is not going to lead anybody anywhere. We've practiced it since 1999. In the next 4 years, probably will be like 1999 to 2029. That would be like 30 years. We have been retrogressing on this system. Today, I can put it to you that the National Assembly that we have, that is supposed to be a check and balance, is only aiding and abetting bad governance in this country. The system is not working. It's not about the players anymore. We have good, like I give example of the people that were on this Labour Party. Do you hear of them? Yeah, because they've been sucked in by the system. Look at this Natasha, for instance. You speak, the whole system will gang up against you. I give for me, so that I cannot sound, let me not sound like I'm ranting. My conviction is that me, Masca, forefathers, John Abba, Mr. Ike, all of us need to understand that we are looking for messiahs at this point, and it's not going to happen. What we need to do is to roll our sleeves and solve the problems. America was not built by one person. No country was built by a single individual. If we want to see something good in our country, we must make it happen. The starting point is to begin to even conscientize our people, who today I'm afraid to say that they need a lot of conscientization to understand that there is always constant primordial distraction. The half of the discussion we hold here is what I call primordial distraction. It's about Fulani and Yoruba people. How does that change anything? we need to begin to tell our people to focus more on the issue. What is the issue today in this country? Security, poverty, education, health, technology, security. These are the issues. How many times do we talk about them, even here? Every day is distraction. It's either Fabio, Natasha, Wiki. These are all distractions. They are not the issues with the country. They will come. Natasha will come. Natasha will go. Wiki will come. Wiki will go. They are just simply distractions. So if you want to give them good toga, you could say they are symptoms. But in my mind, they are not even symptoms. They are not an issue. We need to focus. The real issue is we, the people like me and you, those that have been educated, those that are able to know their left from that, need to conscientize everybody. We need to do it massively, day in, day out, to let our people understand that these are the issues, bigger issues. We as a black race, we are suffering. We have suffered. We are still suffering. Until tomorrow, the world is still planning against us. So there are many issues at many levels. We need to conscientize our people, and we need to take responsibility also. These days, I'm beginning to deeply respect somebody like Showori, because I think he's one of the few that I see that do understand what really is the issue. If anything to do with this 50-50 approach, it's not going to solve the problem, because the white people are not bothered about us now. It's like you put your child with some play tools, you go to the kitchen, you're cooking food. As long as the child is not massively crying, you're no longer bothered about him. The way the world is looking at us, we're like that children inside some room playing with some small tools. We are not even a bother now. But be rest assured, if we begin to put our acts together, they'll open that door and see what is going on and begin to make sure that we remain where we are. So I'm simply saying that for me, the 2027 alliance, yes, is there, but we should not be too bothered who will be the next president. What we should be worried about is to start planning how we can conscientize our people and begin to move things forward. And again, another thing that I always want to say, draw attention to the people, you know, especially those in the diaspora, you hear them say that, oh, when hunger beat people, they will react. Honestly, logically, is it not, has the hunger in Nigeria not reached enough levels? And for anybody who wants to care and do the analysis, Nigeria is one of the least countries even in Africa, not the world anymore. Take any index. Is it life expectancy? You guys will be shocked. Nigeria is like number 3 at the bottom, even in Africa, for life expectancy.
Yep.
But there's nothing that is going to happen. It's not going to happen if you expect that people will be punished and then no. I think we should disabuse our minds of that. We need to consciously do something. Waiting for something to happen is no longer an option for the people that are passionate about Nigeria. We all have to sit down and begin to think, what should we do? In my mind, the first step is to conscientize people. The second step is to really begin to articulate what are the issues. What kind of system are we going to develop? In my mind, this idea of any senator, it should be pushed aside. Anybody who will be a national figure, you must distinguish yourself in some industry. As a basis even of anything, whether it's election, whether it's selection, you have to distinguish yourself. It should no longer be just a question of whether you're popular in your place. No, you have to show us in your what is your industry first, what is your sector, and what have you done, what have you achieved, so that we can begin to promote, the word is not excellence, but meritocracy in some sort of level. I'm just saying that in my mind, arguing about whether the coalition will work or not, I think is not understanding the real issues with our country. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let my brother Mashka, let my brother laugh small. Now your mama be this show, we no get another one. Now your mama be this show.
You see, so that's
Na
another
ya
this
mama be
thing,
this,
Mr.
oh,
Ike
you
has
no
just
get
pointed
another
out.
mother. Na ya mama be
This
this,
is,
oh.
you know, this is we're sliding even into a dictatorship, sincerely.
Yeah.
Because you see, senators are standing to clap and sing for the press. Those are the people that are supposed to be the check and balance. In this my lifetime, in this Nigeria, in this dispensation, there was one man called Galina Abba. They put fear into the heart of OBJ as a president. That's how you should.
No, OBJ needed to be afraid because there was something that was happening in Nigeria. I think
Forefathers, again, you are going to go when somebody make a point, you go into opposite tangent. My point is that we are sliding into a dictatorship.
I can't.
Yes.
So you are saying that you were sliding to a dictatorship and you are not
Yeah,
allowing me
because
to
you
go
are making
in
no,
my direction.
no, you are
You want to
saying
be a
that
dictator here
because
too?
you are not going
What
to
kind of
make
attitude is
OBJ.
this?
You are trying to make
Godfather, can you
Let
give me
me go
my
my
time? I'm
direction
about to
too.
leave, please.
This is free speech. Let me go my direction too. You want to be a dictator? You are agreeing about a dictator. You look at that. You see that?
arrest my case.
This is a matter of prestige. If you want to go ahead, please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much. Greeting everybody. I'm not going to waste too much time on this conjecture you're making here. It's all about speculation. This alliance, like I said, it's a conjecture. So until it actually happens, because when it comes to Nigerian space, I have my doubt anything that will materialize. So I'm not going to come here and be making all speculations. So I'm going to spend a minute on this here so-called alliance, which I don't see it. What it's going to do to that Nigerian space, because the people of Nigeria are not serious. For one, they can't form one alliance, in order to contest against APC. Well, I'm seeing it right now. Because Atiku, the interview that he just granted recently, if you listen to that interview, he did not quite say it, but he inferred that he's running again. And you have the SDP party, El-Rufai and the Malami going over there to remake their mission statement. So they want to take over SDP. I don't know what Adewale is going to do or something like that. So they want a different mission statement for them. So that's the problem to begin with. And Obi, from what I'm hearing, Obi doesn't want to align with them. I don't know how true is it. Everything is speculation right now, So there's definitely not going to be one particular party. One party is there. So it's going to be divide and conquer. Who does this benefit? It benefits Tinubu to begin with. And apart from that, Tinubu has already posted his apparatus in different places. He's looking for a new INEC right now. The person that's going to be the INEC chairman. It's going to be a sycophancy to him, whatever, for him to appoint anybody. It doesn't matter what tribe. They're all in the same place. So it doesn't matter who he appoint, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa. It's somebody that's going to listen to him. So we are done. It pains me to say that the way my country is going, I don't want to be pessimistic. I try not to be pessimistic, but that's how it is. So, in order not to labor about what's going on, I have other two topics in. If you don't mind, I'm going to talk about, because there's a breaking news that just came out 3 hours ago. So I'd rather go into that. I don't want to spend my hours here, speculating until maybe it happens. Then we see that. There's a developing story right now. Hold on. In reference to what happened in Edo State, this was posted 3 hours ago on Twitter. And the name of the guy is Rabu Ibrahim Ramson. And this is exactly what he said. On the 7th of April, we will start attacking all the whole churches in the north. Go and look at it. Because they said this is being combated among the mosque in the north. So they want a revenge. Let me give you more news in reference to what they said. That's what the one that penned me. This is what they said. Hold on. Let me bring it up. So everything has to be, I don't mean to bring any trap something here, but this is how they made it. They said blood is thicker than water. They were 24 Hausa Muslim murdered, eager to return for Salah from their home to their family and their mothers and daughter wife. But their life were cut short by the Igbo settler of Uromi. So now they are blaming it to the Igbo that live in that place. This is posted. Anybody can go and read it. It's said by the Igbo settler of Uromi. This came 3 hours ago. But they have forgotten that one of the guys that did this is a Muslim. I'm not saying he's from the north, but he's a Muslim, in Edo State. So it's not about Christian or Muslim thing. Whatever happened there, I condemn what happened. I already spoke about it before, so I'm not going to go into detail. But this is just what they tweeted on Twitter. Now it's going to be Igbo that did it. You see, the problem we have in Nigeria. We're not going nowhere.
Yeah, I think we are. If you want to,
if you want to stop,
you can stop. We are moving on.
That I don't see going nowhere.
Come on, man. Why are we talking about some other topic? We are talking about this thing. Let's leave that one. That is
no. I don't want to talk about the collusion because I don't want to talk about the alliance because it's speculation. Like I said, it's not going to work.
I thought it was a fact already.
Are you just going to do that? Do you know this conjecture you're doing? What is the purpose?
The purpose of what conjecture? Maybe if you let me talk, I will tell you what the purpose is.
Okay, go ahead and talk. I have something to talk about. I don't want to talk about nonsense.
I don't want to talk about tribal stuff. We've already covered those conflicts that are going on within the Nigerian space. We talked about it for almost 3 hours. We could have said.
I'm just giving you a developing story that is happening.
Yes. I've already got. I'm not going to spend another 1 hour talking about it. That's what I'm trying to say.
I didn't say you should.
And you've already said it now.
I'm just giving you a breaking news.
Okay, thank you. I allowed you to say it. To be fair, I let you go ahead with it. But let me just get back to the topic we're talking about.
Okay, see, I don't want to talk about alliance. My time. I still have my time.
Look at that. You use your time talking about this thing.
Nigeria.
Now you want your time back. You want your time back.
Man of prestige, you have used your time.
What good is it going to do to your master? You have been talking for 100 years.
No, talk is good. As long as talk is good, man of prestige, because it's the start of good things. But we should be talking about the important things. That's all I'm saying.
Talking is like thinking. Talking is like thinking. You have to process information.
I believe in reality. I'm a realistic person. So
okay, man of prestige. Can I just get one word in, man of prestige? Can I get one word in? You have been talking now. Let me talk. Jesus Christ. Okay.
That don't let somebody talk.
Yeah, but you now are not letting me talk now. We don't like it now. Let me talk my own too. I wanted to talk. Master and say I would talk. You wouldn't let me talk.
No, I don't say you won't talk, but I said don't carry discussions to wrong tangents. It's not fair.
Yes.
If somebody is talking about a political issue, you tend to bring it down to some personal.
No, I gave you a breaking news.
Not personal. I'm not trying to make it personal.
Talk about it, but I'm just saying we have a problem.
I'm not talking to you, man of prestige.
What you're talking here.
He wasn't referring to you, man of prestige. All these Democrats, you need to behave yourself, before we go.
Time, maybe after 20
Can I talk about other things that I want to talk about besides this stupid alliance?
Yes, but there's something I wanted to talk about that masquerades. That masquerades that when I asked a question and he didn't get resolved in any way. When we say leaders are good or bad, or like in the case of Shagari was a good man, but he wasn't a good leader. I think we as a people, we are like a machine that is not producing good quality people. Like if you look at some Western countries, what you've seen, yes, they experience some terrible things that galvanize them to create those type of leaders, but some of all those people already were there, a kind of changing their societies. Like we're having a conversation how the German society became what it became today. They were not technically originally like that maybe 700 years ago. They were producing some of the best minds, or at least now we know they were some of the best minds at the time. At the time, maybe they were not seen like that. They were seen as, okay, these people are saying things that nobody has ever said before. Like all these philosophers, Immanuel Kant, Hume, and all this, they're coming out. You're not listening.
Let me know. Don't worry. I know where you're going, but my answer is simple. Okay. if you've
Okay,
read,
can
I don't know
answer
whether
that?
you've read this
Ask me a
The
question,
Republic
right?
by Pluto. He spoke about philosopher kings.
Yes, that it's going to be the best kind of.
Yeah, so as
leadership.
until our leaders are also philosophers, then half of the time, yes, it's not
But that's not
sufficient.
where I'm going, though. Where I'm going is you have to create leaders that understand their situation. Like Stalin now, when he came into office, or at least even before then, he was
Naija,
very
let me
radical
say,
about what they
it
want to
doesn't
get
matter
done.
what kind of leader you created. The system is flawed. That constitution, beginning from the constitution. So it doesn't matter what
It's
kind
not
of leader you
that's
created.
what
If
the
the
point I'm
system is
making
not
is that
remedy,
the point
there
I'm
has to
making
be a
is that the
system in
leaders we are
place
producing
in order for you
don't
to bring
seem
in
to
a
be
new
the
leader,
type
in
that
order to
understand.
usher the new generation.
Oh,
It's not going to
see,
work
can you just stop interrupting me constantly?
because they're not
The
making
leader,
sense.
let me talk. The leaders we are producing are not able to understand the system. They are
What
not.
leader are you
They are not.
producing? Because
Hold
people
on
like
now.
Showore is not going to be allowed to come
They
in.
are
So
not.
what the heck are you producing?
Let him
Uh,
land. Then
There's
you
no
can
leader.
respond.
look at
Allow
that.
him
Look
to
at how
land.
he's
Then you
That's
badgering
the
me
hot
left and right.
element we have.
See. The leaders that we
You stay in
produce.
London and where things work, and you want to replicate that to
let's
Nigeria. That's not going to work in
listen to
Nigeria.
each other
Nigeria,
now. Man of
Nigeria is a
prestige.
shithole country. There's
Yeah.
nothing you're going to bring there that is going to work.
Okay, I hope
Nigeria is
you're
not
happy
well.
now that
We are
you've
not
gotten it
well.
out of your system. I hope you've
The
gotten it
people
out of
need
your
to be
system.
emancipated from their slave mentality they have right now.
I think it's Tony's time to talk, forefathers.
Yeah.
Let me go because you will allow me to talk what I want to say. All you are some jargon that don't make any sense. Thank you.
It's okay. It's
All right. You're welcome with your jargon. I hope that the viewers, we have almost 100 of them listening. Even if it's two that understand where I'm coming from, sometimes it takes only one to make all the difference. The point I'm trying to address here is the idea that if you produce leaders that understand systemic challenges, that understand a kind of geopolitical environment, what is going on geopolitically, you are more likely to solve your problems. We don't seem to have those leaders that are geopolitically aware.
We
What
have them. What I'm telling you, forefathers, the leaders are there, but the system is configured in such a way that they cannot come to be the leaders. I spoke about primaries, for instance. We have good leaders. I can assure you, I know of very sound Nigerians, solid people, solid philosopher kings. But there is no way this system will operate today will ever allow them to come to be the leaders.
But you see that is part of the problem now. If you don't wait for the system to allow you, you take it. And this is where
and I'm saying that's the conversation we should be having. How do we take it? That's the conversation.
Now we are going somewhere now.
That's the conversation.
Okay,
that should be the conversation, not to go and be pandering to the system that will not take you anywhere. You have to talk about how do we take it.
We have to upset the apple cart now, and then the people that are going to take it better know what to do with it, and that is also.
How do we hoist on philosopher kings on top of our?
Because you said you liked Showore. My concern
I didn't say I like. You see, I didn't say I like him
or something.
No, I'm beginning to see the points he's making in terms of direction.
Okay.
I may not. I don't. At this point, I don't think I've known Showore enough to say I like him.
Okay. I think it's
But I've listened to him a couple of times, and I can see some of the systemic issues he's talking about.
Yes, I do agree with some of the this in description that he actually provides about what.
But even him, he's pandering to the system, if you ask me, because he wants to be elected, and it's evident. You can see that system will never elect somebody like Showore, ever.
Not the way he's approaching it. He's not going to get elected.
No, it's not about him. It's not even about him. This is what I'm saying. It's not even about him. It's not like he's doing the right things. In a good country, this guy will be elected in no time.
Yeah, but that how power behaves, but power doesn't behave like that.
No, we all agree, forefathers. We all agree that if you want to enter the system and come out and rig it, I am beginning to see that is self-deception. You're deceiving yourself.
I
So
think we have to be more creative. There are more creative ways.
So is that creativity we should be talking about? It's okay. Let other people talk.
Because I was in the UK here where
it's okay. I think we should allow other people to talk.
Why do you people not let somebody talk? You can talk. I don't tell you, oh, let other people talk. But when I want to talk, you want to tell me not to talk. I will say what I want to say. When I'm here in the UK, they design the Scottish system so that one party cannot dominate. But yet it happened that one party came on to dominate because those people that became dominant, they created a strategy to defy the system. No matter, even if the system was designed to keep them in check, but they defied it. And that's the kind of stuff we need to be coming up with, and which was what we are agreeing on already. Tony, what do you make of this political idea of political?
Well, the politicians are busy, strategizing and for 2027. So I don't expect anything less from them. But if you look at this plan for is it merger or whatever it is coming on together, you see that even there in the composition, you see some very strange bedfellows, and you're wondering whether they would be able to let their personal ambition be subsumed by the national interest in terms of bringing out who they think best can win and would best qualified and will be more acceptable to Nigerians and will really work to see how he can move this country forward. But I'm not too optimistic that it's going to work because these are people whose main aim is just to get Ashwaju out of power, and that shouldn't be the driving force. If I look at someone like Lee Kuan Yew, in fact, I think I agree substantially with what Maska has said. We really have to think out of the box. You have to do something very unusual. If you look at Lee Kuan Yew, that is often mentioned when you talk about leadership that is purposeful, that is visionary. Lee Kuan Yew was a benevolent dictator, and he remained in the political atmosphere of Singapore for over 50 years. He was prime minister for 31 years. And even when he left as prime minister, he didn't entirely leave. He was senior minister. He was prime minister from 1959 to 1990. And then even when he left in 1990, he was senior minister from 1990 to 2004. And then he didn't leave. He was still minister mentor from 2004 to 2011. And so, and he had to use somewhat. He wasn't just, he was a benevolent despot. Some of his policies were authoritarian. He was, some of them, he was, heavy-handed in terms of his policies. But at the end of the day, he succeeded in turning Singapore to what it is today. Now the question is, how can we get that kind of person? Because the craze in Nigeria is who wants to become president. Is it from the south? Is it from the north? Is it from that's all what people are interested in. People are not so much interested in I want my brother to become president. I want my brother to become minister. If he gets there, then chop don't come and all that kind of trash. So I think part of what Maska is suggesting, which I buy into, is that we have to look at the bigger picture. Nigeria is going down every day. And so we really have to sit down, and realize we will have to realize that if we continue this trajectory, we won't have a country. That is even if we have one, and put that in quote, and if it collapses totally, everybody, it's going to affect everybody. Not just even Nigeria, the entire West African sub-region is going to be affected. So what do we need to do? And I agree that even if you bring an angel from heaven down to Nigeria, given the situation, the structures that we have now, there's total decay. There's not much the angel is going to be able to do, because once you are a leader who wants to turn things around, stop corruption and so on, definitely you really have to be prepared for a fight. So we need some benevolent dictatorship. I don't know how it's going to come. Someone who is going to come there and change, maybe tinker with the constitution. Is it going to be a constitution, or suspend the constitution? I don't know, for a while, and get someone who would have some time. I mean, we'll see. I'm not an advocate of military dictatorship, but look at what is happening in Burkina Faso. Just for these few years that you have the leader there, we can see visible turnaround. How long it's going to go, I don't know. But I think we've gotten to a place where we need someone who will be bold, and take the bull by the horn, and it should be allowed some time to be able to retool, restructure, and chart the direction for Nigeria. If it's a 20-year plan or 30-year plan, and then when we see that he's moving along the right path, I think then all these cleavages, this appeal to ethnicity and religion and all these maybe will die off. But otherwise, all these ones they are doing, the politicians are just gaming. I don't think that they don't have time. One, I don't see who is going to bring his resources. The way ACN and all part of ABGA, part of CPC and all that came together and restructured and metamorphosed to APC. And we don't have that kind of atmosphere now because Jonathan allowed it. I don't think that this regime that we have is going to allow a formation of any political party. It's not. They will scuttle it. And let me tell you, even within this gathering that they are gathering, I can tell you there are people who are going to go in there, they are black sheep. They are going to, turn out to be Arabambi and Apapa and so on and so forth and pretend to be working together with them and scuttle the entire thing. So I think at this stage, we have tried the parliamentary system, we have tried the presidential system. I think we should try something else. And this time, something that will limit all this competition and do or die for power and so on and so forth, and all the idiosyncrasies that we see. That's my suggestion. I don't think this attempt coming together. I don't have anything against it, but I don't think it's going to work. I'm done.
Sorry, I think I agree with your position on this because I don't think they are motivated enough to be able to remove the current government. I think the Erufai Tinubu Buhari alliance was far more motivated to dethrone PDP from office because I was in Nigeria when this new democratic dispensation started. It was supposed to be in Northern that was supposed to be in office when Jonathan was in office, and he remained in office for significant, I think almost 6 years or more even. And so it was like it's bad enough that Obasanjo has ruled for 8 years and no Northern has been in office. Then Northern came in, then passed, then Jonathan that wasn't even Rivers State wasn't even part of the calculation. Then became a leader and ran for 2 years, 6 years. They want to even win another one again. You can see that the motivation to remove him from office was a lot stronger than what they have now.
2 more minutes and I'm out of here, right? You can't
look at that, 2 minutes. Since when you talk for 2 minutes?
Talking
why is it that other people talk? Well, I guess maybe because I talk whenever other person says something. Go ahead if you want to say something.
It's all right. It's not like you're the worst. You know, like you just said, why is it that everybody is speaking on you on that? Maybe you should correct something, right? There's nothing wrong with you talking, but you're not here to school anybody or talk after everybody. Say something and then let other people talk. Well, let me say hello to everybody here formally. You, the moderator, Maska, my brother Ike, and Tony. I didn't like the treatment that was given to a man of prestige. He's not my favorite guy here on this platform, but he said he had a breaking news. At least you should be able to listen. When somebody says, I say breaking news, even if they say it 10 times, you have to listen. Right? One of them may be that the Lord is here. The Lord Jesus Christ is here picking up people. You want to listen when somebody has a breaking news. Now, having said that, let me say to those people who
I have breaking news.
Let's hear it.
The news is that my position on the previous conversation still remains the same. And I'll keep repeating it. I'll keep repeating it as you're talking.
Our country is going to hell. You have Master here say that he's beginning to see what Chowere is doing. That's good news. Masker, when I first encountered him here a few years ago, maybe a couple of years ago, he was a bad actor, a bad character here. The division between Southerners and Northerners was there in everything he said.
Answered, please.
Let me land now. Let me land.
The division between
Muslims. Please mute him. Let me land. I'm only going to be here 2 minutes, so please, I really have to go. All I'm saying, and now, forefathers, if I say something that's not true, then you let him talk. If I'm saying something that's true, don't let him interrupt me.
Okay.
Earlier, before I encountered Masker here, and he wasn't alone. He was with you too, forefathers and all that.
Did you just say that if you say something that is not true, don't let him interrupt you?
I'm saying if I say something that's not true, let him interrupt me. But anyway, Masker was a bad actor, right? The division between Muslims and Christians was evident in everything he said. He was deceitful. It was insincere.
You are very biased.
Don't let him interrupt me if I'm saying something that's true.
You don't have
now, when he said now, I see what Showere is saying, I believe that is good. That's an improvement.
No, but you can't just go to...
Will you meet this guy here? I used to say to him, you want to be one of the guys that I'm not going to let you. Right? I used to say that to you, that you're not one of us. So I'm right now I'm giving you kudos. You're not the only one I've rescued here. Will you meet the guy? I'm only going to be here a couple of minutes. It's
okay,
not only
you
that I've back here.
Baska, let him talk now. Please go ahead. Let's stop calling him out. You keep calling him but talking about him. What did you expect?
I pledged that if I say something that's not, you see, forefathers, I used to tell Rudolph, all we should be doing here is true or false. As long as I'm saying something that you yourself say witness to, that what I'm saying is true. You know that Master and I were like cats and dogs here, and I used to tell him that he's not one of us, right?
Okay,
all right. He said something that's remarkable.
I like what you said. Just for a second. So, forefathers, please, is it true what Pansat is saying, that I've been a bad actor on this panel? Say it. Answer.
No, clearly not.
There you go, Pansat.
Okay, no, what I mean by a bad actor is not somebody who beats his wife or something like that. A bad actor is somebody
where is this going to end, Pansat?
Right? Somebody, hold on now. Let me define a point there. I'm somebody who supports those who are right? Those who supports Islamic terrorism.
You are
in any form. Hold on.
This has been dealt with. Others have sorted the issue. Leave it. Move forward, please.
Okay. Well, I wanted to define that stuff for you, so you know. I don't mean that you don't come here trying to be one of the guys. You know, you're amiable, affable kind of guy. You laugh, but when you're laughing, we got people in our forests raping our women and killing people. And I was saying to you that you should have a complete catharsis before we accept you as one of the guys, that you're supposed to come out and condemn that. And then, right, if you come in here and say, you know what, I'm from the north.
No, do you
I'm gonna
remember?
go back. Let me. You
No.
I'm only gonna be here a couple of minutes.
When I'm still alive,
hold on now. I'm recounting history. I'm trying to say what happened.
Recount it along with you. You shouldn't have an issue with that. If we're all going to recount the same history.
Okay, so let me talk. Then you go ahead. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to what I'm gonna talk about. What I want to say to Nigerians is this, and particularly to my people, the Igbos, and by extension, Biafrans. A lot of people don't know that Biafra is not just Igbos. You have Igbos in Biafra. They will have a lot of others, Efik people, Calabar people, all that. People from forefathers area over there in the Port Harcourt. All those are our people. Edo, a lot of Edo, not all of them. A lot of Edo. That's why when they buy some of these people, the Northerners are saying the Igbos did it. They're right. The Northerners are right. The Igbos did it. A lot of our people are in that Edo. A lot of people are in that Port Harcourt. There are 3 major tribes, as Nigerians we know it colloquially as Wazobia. All these other little minorities, people from Tony's place and all that, you pick one of those as either you're Wa, you're Zo, or you're Bia, right? So now I want to address the Bia part of it. It was because, look, we don't have any, we play Monopoly.
If nobody told you, I will tell you today, you are very verbose.
Okay. So, like I said, our people should prepare for battle, right? It's not going to be done any other way. All we're waiting is for people they keep getting smarter. People like Tony, they're coming in.
Yeah, but Bazard, we're talking about coalition government, and
I understand. Let me tell you.
Biafra.
Listen to me. When you're talking about coalition, let's just look at alliance, right? It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a coalition. Right? An alliance could be a partnership, could be an association, right? It could be a coalition, like you're saying. It could be an affiliation, could be a union, could be a league.
Do you see them being able to unseat this government?
This government are going to be unsat, period. They're gone. Nigeria is not as stupid as we are. Hold on. The only problem we have is that Northerners who we know to be violent, mischievous, terrorists even, Northerners, that's the thing they have to offer. That is your good. People from Master's place. If we're gonna have a coalition with them,
Master, I'm getting tired of this, man. You are saying very bigoted things, and you are
hold
funny,
on.
but
Hold
you are
on.
saying actually really
hold
bigoted
on.
stuff.
Listen to me. What we know, if you want to be honest with yourself, if I'm gonna form a coalition with a Northerner, what is it that I want from him? I don't want him to solve physics for me or chemistry. What I want from him is, if Tinubu is doing something that's destructive to the country, I want them to use their thing, what they have to offer, and get rid of it, right? Am I going to go into an alliance with somebody whose strong suit is I'm going to be gone from here by 6:05, right? So listen to me. Don't take me off my league, Paul Padas. After all, you shouldn't be saying anything. You're a minority guy. You have nothing to offer. When Tinubu come over there and remove your governor, right? Take him out undemocratically. What do? You sit there looking goofy. You want to talk about Malaysia?
Oh, now forefathers, people
your,
know where
your governor was undemocratically removed by the Yoruba guy, right? You don't do anything about it because all your mouth is to insult Igbos. We went to war here for 3 years, for something less than this.
But Pastor, what's your point?
Hold on. I'm trying to make my point. We're gonna form an alliance.
Coalition,
We have to form a coalition, but what we want from Mascot's people is their terrorism, right? To remove the government. What we want from them is the tea they give to Abiola, for example. Use it here now. We don't want you to solve physics or math for us. So we know what
Honestly,
your strong
Master,
suit.
I think you should go home and write a Nollywood movie. This thing, you are wasting your time here. Honestly, it's annoying. That's
Okay,
why your talent is.
So let me say to you that
you get the tea that they give to Abiola. Jesus Christ
is gone. Tinubu is gone. There's no doubt about that. No matter what he does, he's not supposed to be there. He rigged the election. Not even the Yorubas will vote him back into office. Now he's counting on rigging the election. You know, let me tell you something before I go. Tinubu did not rig the election the last time. It was Buhari who did, and Mahmoud, and 5 northern governors. That's who rigged the election. Tinubu could not win Lagos because they left him to win that, right? But he lost because he was trying to pay off people, pay money, bribe. His modus operandi is to bribe.
So what is texting you, Pastor? Go and attend to her instead of
exactly. They are texting you.
You
are here harassing. You are here harassing Nigerians.
No, I'm not. Let me conclude by saying this. He's gone. A lot of you, you're gonna come here. I know how you distract us by saying, "Oh, it's a hopeless situation. Oh, he's coming back no matter what." He's not a strong man. The problem we're having is that instead of us including our military, and I remember the military is not made out of Yorubas alone. We have Igbos in the military. Our military, our Igbos should know that there may be a mutiny. Let the Igbo soldiers fight the Yoruba soldiers and vice versa. And let the Northerners fight the Yoruba soldiers and vice versa. The military does not belong to Yorubas. So if you come in there and you're thwarting our constitution by removing a governor illegally and putting all kinds of criminals to just destroy our constitution, that constitution is what made you president illegally, right? So if you just shred it the way he's doing, then he has no standing. So we should, when we talk, we should be talking to students from now on. If people are listening to me, soldiers, Nigerian soldiers, especially Igbo soldiers, right? You have to go back to and look at your roots. When push come to shove, the Igbo soldiers do what they have to do, and that's not untouchable. Sadwana or no Sadwana?
Okay, thank you.
If you
this was supposed to be 2 minutes. It's gone over 10 minutes.
Hold on, let me land now.
No, why would you want him to extend it now? He's supposed to talk for 2 minutes.
Let me land.
10 minutes.
You know, Masker likes for me to talk to him, right? I understand that. Tony likes for me to talk to him. I don't placate them. I tell them the truth and what's going to solve this problem. We have to let Tinubu know that he's gone. It's not the other way around, telling Nigerians there's nothing they can do. You're talking to Nigerians. You're not talking to me or forefathers. You're telling Nigerians there's nothing they can do just because they like to extend to the maximum. So, you know.
Yeah, but that part may be true, but the problem I see is that the opposition themselves are not motivated enough to genuinely remove him from office. They are not. If they were, they had the capacity to do that.
Who's opposition?
People like PDP, APC, Labour, all of them.
No, you don't get it.
APC, I mean,
you don't get it. All those people are together.
Against him.
All the opposition is the Nigerian people. The rest of them are together, right?
Including Peter Obi.
Including Peter Obi. The rest of them are together now.
What happened that you are suddenly?
No, listen to me. It depends on what we're talking about. We're saying the rest of them are politicians, right? So the Peter Obi is not the same league as, let's say, Tinubu or Atiku. Peter Obi is a saint as an individual, but we didn't pick him because he's revolutionary. Just like I was telling you about coalition. The coalition we had in 2027 was to have people like Peter Obi do what needs to be done peacefully, constitutionally, legally. Now, what we need are people from your side, Masker, people who are extreme, people who are troublemakers, people who are deceitful, people who are violent, people who are terrorists. That's what we need in our coalition now, and you're going to supply it, Masker. you and your people. So you talk to them that we want to form an alliance.
Why?
And that
Master, why do you keep trying to stretch this guy on?
Sent me as an errand boy.
Yes. No.
Master, stop this now. Stop this now.
Stop trying to encourage this bad behavior.
One thing about Jide cannot wait to talk, and normally I like to hear from Jide. So what I would do?
Thank you, Pascal.
I will yield now, knowing that it's redundant. Jide is gonna say what we need to hear. But Maska, it's good to see you again. I'm no longer asking for you to try to join us and be one of us. You are one of us now. I want you to bring your terrorism, bring everything you have over there.
Thank you, Mr. Passad.
Let's replay my country back.
How much money do I get for being part of your gang now?
You're a Nigerian, right? Are you a third party? Don't you want your country to be rescued?
When did I suddenly become a Nigerian? I've been a Nigerian all along. Or is it that you don't know?
Now we're talking about coalition. So we want you on our side.
That means he's not listening to what I'm saying. I am not a party to any coalition to go and foster on this same system that is not working, where we have 109 senators that are collecting money that they don't work for.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. I yield back.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know whether Ike, have you spoken regarding this coalition? So what do you make of it now? They could unseat Tinubu if they are serious.
Listen, in politics, nothing is impossible in politics. Politics, 5 minutes is a long day, So the only thing is that if there is going to be any kind of relationship or coalition, it is the face of the opposition determines where they can go. I don't believe with what you said, forefather, that there is no excitement about the opposition for 2027. Well, I don't know. I don't know about other people that is talking about the coalition, but we that are members of obedient movement, you don't know what is going on. So don't say people are not. People are not excited about the opposition. Nigerians are excited about the opposition. But the question has been, what we are asking here, what is the purpose of being an opposition to the present government? What is the aim? What is the objective? Is it to grab power? Or is it for political payback to people of an APC? That's not the point. If the point is to make sure, like all the systems we are talking about that have been broken into pieces, we need a face of new opposition. Like Maska was saying here, do we have National Assembly? The answer is no, we don't have. Right? Even though we are trying to talk about the opposition, remember that this present party that is in power right now, they have sent their moles everywhere. Even this SDP you are talking about, the SDP is a branch of APC if you don't know. So we don't know what is the game of Rufai. Never mind what he's talking about. That's why I'm telling you that this guy has a lot of answers to give to Nigerians. But we are watching and we are waiting and we are following to know at the end of the day which part is he going to play. Today, if you analyze today, the members of SDP in Kaduna State has disowned El-Rufai because from his ward and his area, they said that he's never a member of SDP, that they don't know him, he never joined them. So we don't know which one is true. So the point I'm trying to make, don't think that the oppositions are not excited or Nigerians are not excited about the opposition. Listen, Nigerians has tested this government. Nigeria has happened to everybody in Nigeria. So if you think that it is good for you, well, fine and good. But I think that at the end of the day, Nigerians are tired. Nigerians are tired, and if it depends on what the people who are trying to come together, what is their aims and objective, and what do they want, And we have seen, like somebody Maska said here, we have seen members of the oppositions. Sometimes when you blame the oppositions, you look at what is going on in Nigeria. These oppositions have been captured by APC. They have served their modes everywhere. Most of the people who you see that decamping, everybody is decamping to one political party. You should be able to ask yourself a question. Why is it that the politicians that are decamping, they are going to APC? The same APC, everybody is crying and shouting for. So it's not going to be easy. But that doesn't mean that is not going to work. But the problem is that who is going, the people that are going to be the face of the opposition is what matters most. I'm not talking about recycled politicians. I don't need any recycled politician. You know, we know them by themselves. We know them. So we are watching. We want to know how, what are their programs, how they're going to look like. Then we'll be able to know how we'll come in, you know. And I believe that some Nigerians will be ready to say this present government, that Nigerians are ready to see their back, you know. Nigerians are ready to make this government one-time.
But they, like you said, what are they going to be replacing? They are replacing one corrupt government with another one.
No, but that's
like
the point.
Directly.
Yeah, but what we are saying the same thing. That's why I said that it all depends on the face of the opposition. It all depends on the program of what the opposition and the people that are going to run the face of the opposition. And that's why I said that, because myself personally, I am an obedient I'm obedient till Jesus called me. I am still obedient till tomorrow. So but what I'm telling you is that I am holding my principle about 3 key words he has spoken to Nigeria. He didn't say it obedient, but he spoke it to the ears of all Nigerians. Those 3 words is still what I am holding. Until whenever he makes that move, until whenever he says, listen, my people, this is where I'm going, and this is the reason, and this is what I have decided, and this is why I make this decision, and this is why you will understand why I make this decision. It's by then, if I have anything to tell him, if I am going to be the only lone voice in obedient movement who is going to come after him, then by then I will be the only lone voice in obedient to come after him. All those 3 or 4 words he has spoken to me that I wrote in my diary that I'm going to use to watch him till 2027, and I'm still watching him. So he should be able to stay when he tells us this is where I'm standing. He has not told anybody this is where I'm standing based on last 3 weeks. I know Tony knows about that. In Enugu, he was speaking in Igbo, but he made it very clear that he's still in Labour Party. That even the people that have left, we shouldn't fight the people that have left, because maybe later, maybe they will come back. We shouldn't see them as our enemies, right? So probably maybe they will come back. And if I am going to leave, you will know when and how and reasons why I'm leaving. So for now, all those things they are talking about, it doesn't matter. If, for example, if you see like Tanko or you see more in the meeting of the so-called coalition, doesn't mean that P2B is with them. You know, because
is it possible to have a loose coalition where, like, because I don't know how coalition works. Do you have to form a new political party, or you just claim that, okay, whatever we do, we share our votes? Can you have a loose coalition where all parties still maintain their names, but they cooperate in terms of how they share their votes? It would have been
very possible what you are talking about now. If Aburi has allowed the Labour Party to stay, if Wike and his group has allowed PDP to stay, what that loose something you're talking about is that where Masca is very strong, we support Masca.
Yeah.
Where Forefather is strong, we support Forefathers. Where Tony is strong, we support Tony. Where Ike is strong, we support Tony. That is what he's supposed to do. Everybody keep their political party, but wherever we know that Masca is very strong, all of us go to Masca. On the day of the election, everybody line on the back of Masca. We vote Masca. Wherever we know Forefather is very strong, everybody in that state, we stand at the back of Forefather. Wherever AY is strong, everybody at the back of AY. That is what you're trying to say. But the problem is that APC is so ahead, and that is why they have dismantled all the whole political party. And that is why there are crises everywhere in all the whole opposition political party. So sometimes you cannot control this thing, because if you really want political democracy in political parties, you have to know that this crisis is going to come, because you cannot break that hold of the old style without making sure that this crisis will continue until it remain only 4 or 5 people, that you can start a new formation, that you can start to build a new foundation. Because as long as what is going on, will you say that you still have, will you not say that there are still PDP? Or will you not say that there are still Labour Party? There are still members in those people who are ready to come back to start their afraid. But with these people that are holding on, you have to allow them to disappear first. But it's not going to be easy.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Fafaras, can I just say something? Just chip in a little. In support of Ike. You know, what Obasanjo couldn't do, even as I call him a benevolent despot, as even a civilian president, he took all the southwest states. He couldn't take Lagos, where Tinubu was governor. And if you go and study what happened and what Tinubu did to be able to survive that onslaught, you know, even contending against the federal might, you'll be surprised. Now that he is president, and you think that you can come together and take him out just like that, it's going to be very, very difficult. I can tell you that. I don't want to say the things that I know about what happened, because I was around, you know. These people haven't started. If they really mean to come together to take Tinubu out, they haven't started. They haven't started. That man you see there is a complete mafia.
No. I think we understand that he's a gangster from that pension. In terms of ensuring that his opposition are in disarray. But with all that strategy, we do have numbers that have come in. No matter how you look at the numbers, he got 36% of the vote. And if the other side, and remember the other side are Agboros to an extent. They're kind of Agboro, like Atiku is not exactly not an Agboro. El-Rufai is ruthless. El-Rufai was one of the people that fought for him to become president. El-Rufai was the kind of person that was saying they were going to form a parallel government against Jonathan government. Those are radicals. So he's very, very strong in terms of, although he was in the UK when they were fighting Abacha and all the rest, yes, and he's able to fight Obasanjo. But it's not the lift that is needed to unseat him. It's not as big as we like to think. He's not as powerful in the northern states as he used to be. Maybe that's why he even needs southern states even more. So it's not
somebody this team is making noise.
Yeah, ordinarily, if you look at opposition, I think if you put their votes together, they had about 56% or something like that, and he had over 50%. He that means more people voted for opposition than they voted for the current government. So, but are they able to muster all those votes again together in a way that will unseat him? That's the question. You know, I don't see that kind of commitment by all the opposition, you know, coming together and acting in a way or in a manner that they will all leave off their political personal ambition, you know, and you know, focus strictly speaking on trying to grab power. But again, the question again, like I said, is: are you just grabbing power to remove him, or what's the intention?
Let me give you one potential. I think when you unmute, it becomes, I don't know why it's the echo is coming, because normally
you need to go out and come back.
So
Papa, are you the only one speaking today, or we other people speak today?
You have started to all these rough people. You have started. I just wanted to answer a question. So
why are you using cheap blackmail now?
all these people there. See, okay, let me just be quick on this one. I think he was asking what could be a uniting factor against them. I think what happened in the last 2 weeks is a key one. Tinubu is expressing a kind of dictatorial one-party state kind of mentality, and that threatens their own individual political ambitions, and that threatens their, because they are not going to be big wigs in that party. So I believe that towards the election, if Tinubu carries on like this, there is going to be defections to other parties, because before, what is going to happen is that you're going to have a dynamics whereby those that didn't get enough influence, or they didn't get what they expect to get from APC, will start now taking the advantage to defect to the other political parties, not the other way around. And to stop Tinubu from acquiring even more power than is already accumulated, I think that could threaten. They will feel like, okay, you know what? If not for Nigerians alone, but for our own power, if this guy carries on like this, I don't think anything is going to be remaining of us by the time he finishes 8 years. That could be a motivating factor that brings them together. Just saying.
So, okay, can I go now? I have for father.
Yeah, please go ahead. Welcome.
Pan our forefathers. I haven't spoken.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You see, all these Ojoro people.
No, Jabu.
Jide hasn't said anything.
It's okay. I can go first and I'll talk after. It's okay.
All right.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Masker Eid Mubarak.
Sorry. You mentioned the name Jangun just now. It just reminded me of Jangun. What is happening with Jangun? Yeah, I thought I heard.
He lives in UK with you, right? No, I didn't mention Jago anyway.
I don't know. He's in Nigeria. I've not heard from him for a long time.
He's asking us of Jago, where Jago is his friend that they live in London together. He's asking you who live in America about Jago.
Okay, all this own goal I keep scoring is okay. It's all right. Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah. I've been watching all of you, man. But a lot of disappointment today. I thought we are getting better, but we are actually getting worse. Nigeria, to be honest, when I listen to some people speak, I just really feel sad. I don't know why we take this way. We need to change. It appears to me where the tribalism is just twist on another level, up to the extent of you looking at human being as a fly. I can't understand it, why we don't have humanity in us. Even the people you expect to have humanity, we don't. If the issue are not related to us, we kind of like we don't care. But I don't think we should be thinking like that, right? In fact, even if there is an incident in Nigeria where the people are not even from Nigeria, as long as human life that is involved, I think we should have some humanity in us. I think it's very important, because I don't know where we want to go with this, man. Hopefully, these issues we are seeing around Nigeria are not going to lead to another crisis in Nigeria that will consume a lot of people. That's just my prayer. However, the issue of the merger, I'm going to say this, right? So I listen. Despite Mr. Tony sometimes speaks as if he's spokesman of Tinubu, I kind of agree with his point. To be honest, Tinubu is ruthless. If you have followed Tinubu politics for the past 20 years plus, you understand what Tinubu can do. He knows how to manipulate power. He knows how to use it. He's very ruthless. But I'm going to say this. The opposition, in all honesty, they are not ready. There is, as we speak today, there is nothing to show that there is opposition in Nigeria. The only opposition that can push Tinubu out, they need to overwhelm him. That opposition needs to be stronger than APC opposition in 2014, 2015. If you follow APC opposition in 2014, 2015, that was the real opposition that can remove a city president. One, a lot of them were genuine about removing the president. They had big wings with the money. So if you look at our position now, even if you ask El-Rufai, Atiku, Tinubu, all of them to come together, do they have the resources? That's one. The second question is, how genuine is that coalition? If it's not genuine, they can't do anything. So my first advice would be, for that opposition to work, Atiku need to drop his ambition. That would be the first thing. He needs to be very involved, but he needs to drop his ambition.
I think he has already said that now, hasn't he?
Oh, said what?
That he's willing to step aside for that some other person.
Forget about Atiku. You don't know Atiku. You don't know this politician. Atiku, I don't know. To be honest, it's gonna be hard for Atiku to tell you, no, I'm not gonna contest. Take it to the bank. So if Atiku can drop his ambition, then they're gonna like form a very stronger coalition. Then you can push Tinubu out. Again, that coalition needs to be genuine. If I don't know if you follow APC coalition in 2014, 2015, that was the real opposition. It was tough to the extent that even the president got scared. Man, these guys are not they are not gonna let me stay here. We've not seen anything like that, to be honest. You need to see that force that will move the people against the government. Otherwise, we've not done nothing, because you expect by now, let the opposition come together and demand for some kind of stuff. For example, demand that all results must be transmitted electronically. They've not done. There is no any form of electoral reform. So how do you want to unseat Tinubu? See. Let me state it here, right? From 1999 to date, Tinubu is the active politician. Active, the only active politician that has become Nigeria president. Nobody else. He is very involved in politics. So Buhari had followers. Buhari, I don't consider Buhari as a politician, to be honest. He has followers. He has natural followers, but Buhari does not really, even as a president, was not really playing the politics today. If Buhari was playing the politics, he would not give ticket to Tinubu. He would have kicked Tinubu out and choose his own man. He can do that. In fact, the governors were waiting for him. Buhari is not involved in all these politics. Obasanjo, yeah, with some element of military and some politics, he was able to bully people out of power, do what he likes with his military power, right? So, but this is the real politician you need to deal with. So, but you need bigger forces like that will push him away, like blow him away. So you need to overwhelm Tinubu for you to be able to take over that country. Otherwise, forget about 2027. It's gonna be walkover. Trust me. If you understand the kind of politics, even Tinubu not in power, if you understand his kind of politics, Mr. Tony said it now. I know exactly what he's talking about. It's not, when people say this, it's not because, oh, the person is supporting Tinubu, but this is what it is. Tinubu is, you can't underrate Tinubu as a politician. Trust me. Take it to the bank.
See, I don't think anybody's underrating Tinubu, but I'm going by results. The result he got was 36%, even with all that power that he will. And that was, if you look at it, he actually prepared for that for a very long time. Now, he's had a chance to be in office.
Fathers, we tend to miss a lot. Do you remember that even during the election, it was a miracle that APC will still come back to power? Nigeria was so tired of the Buhari regime. So tired.
Atiku and Peter Obi breakup actually make it easier for APC to grab power. Atiku and APC and Peter Obi breakup.
Yeah, but that is the point I'm making, though.
If they were together, APC would have taken.
The point, forefathers, is that Tinubu you should commend him that he was able to win. So it's not like what you're putting up as weakness should actually be a strength. This guy had a Muslim ticket on a regime, on a party that people were so tired of. And he was the chief architect of that regime. For him to be able to have won, I think you should know that that guy was really an astute politician.
Personally, I don't subscribe to. I look at the numbers. You can look at all you want to look at in terms of the magic that he has done. I don't see that. Maybe because when I knew Tinubu when I was younger, I didn't see him as all these kind of machine kind of stuff that people are ascribing to him. All I see is a politician that is patient and maybe to an extent it has honor among thieves.
Okay, so the question for fathers you should ask yourself: do you think PDP broke itself or somebody broke it up?
Both. Because if Atiku had made Wike his running mate, maybe they wouldn't be here. Maybe if he hadn't blocked Wike from running, maybe Tinubu wouldn't have made it into office. So you can see there was self-harm going on in PDP too. So and maybe
you are actually correct there. I agree with you there.
So this is why I'm saying.
See, Fofana, let me say this, right? See, if you watch what happened, right? Southeast is natural. You see, Southeast, South. It is a PDP dominated area since 1999. So all the votes you see Peter Obi was getting in those regions, they're actually PDP votes. That's what people don't understand. Even in Southwest, PDP are also strong in Southwest. I mean, they will still get reasonable vote. So Atiku, if you watch the result, Atiku won in the North. That's the result. So Atiku needed those votes from the Southeast. There is no way Southeast will vote for Tinubu. It's not happening. If not for Peter Obi, Southeast would have moved with PDP. The South, PDP will win South. So it was just Peter Obi coming into the race was kind of like a gift for Tinubu too.
Yes.
So,
but now let me ask you now directly. What has changed in the Southeast in terms of the votes? If they go for an election today, would Tinubu get any more votes than he got the last time?
Tinubu will do better in the Southeast. You know why? Because trust me, he's gonna
would he win?
He will do well in Imo State because of Hope Uzodinma. He will win Ebonyi State. Ebonyi is gone for Tinubu. So is the other state he will be getting
if P2B is the ticket.
He can't win in the Southeast.
No, you are telling me if P2B is in the election,
my brother,
Ebonyi is going to vote for Tinubu.
Continue to dream for APC.
I don't know where you got that one from.
I don't know where you got that one from. APC in the Southeast. He's going to win Imo State, win Ebonyi State.
That's what I said. Listen, Tinubu
are you talking about governorship election? Are you
hold on, Mr. Candidate? No. I never said Tinubu will win Southeast. There is no way Tinubu can win Southeast.
No, win a state in the Southeast.
A state, it can win Ebonyi State.
P2B is running.
With the influence of Umahi as the governor, it can win the Ebonyi State.
Which you mind?
Were they not there when P2B?
See. Last election was. I think it's Peter Tony.
Yeah. I said, were they not there? Umahi and Uzodinma, were they not there when?
He can't win. So please, Mr. Tony, there is echo coming from you.
Okay. Sorry. I said
Hope Uzodinma voted for Mr. P2B. Hope Uzodinma for Mr. P2B for presidential election.
You don't understand. You don't understand the psychology of the people from the Southeast. If you understand the psychology,
let me explain what I'm saying.
Unless you are talking about rigging.
Hold on. Peter Obi election in 2023 was different. If Peter Obi is contesting again, it's gonna still be the same in the Southeast. But however, if Peter Obi is not on the ballot, see, the
Yeah, but
only election.
that's the contest I'm
Let me
asking now.
explain
If
it to
P2B
you.
is in the ballot, is the one
Hold,
the main
hold on.
ticket holder?
Let me explain it. Let me explain it. See, when you hear rigging in an election, if people are interested in an election, you can't actually rig it. Because Peter Obi, people really love it in the Southeast. There is no way you can go to Southeast and rig that election. It's gonna be hard because the people were ready. This is their election. Once Peter Obi is not in the ballot, people will not be interested. There is easy for politicians to rig election. This is how politicians rig election.
But that is the point I'm making. I'm trying to find out what has changed on the
Peter
ground
Obi is
that
there,
is so assuring. Let me ask now. Okay, not
Peter
much has changed.
let
If
me
P2B
say
is the main ticket, okay, now let me play this scenario so you understand what I'm saying. P2B is the main ticket holder. Maybe another northern candidate that is stronger than the previous one is in. Let's say proverbially Erufai miraculously is the VP candidate. Then you have Atiku backing that party. Now in the southeast, do you see anything changing in the southeast from the previous result?
That's what I'm saying, right? If you give Peter Obi the ticket, nothing will change in the
Okay,
Southeast.
now let's move on to the other regions. In the northeast, do you see anything changing? Because this time, Atiku is no longer on the ticket. It is Erufai and P2B, but with full backing from Atiku as part of, let's say, Atiku decides that he's going to back two of them and campaign with them and everything. Do you see Atiku losing ground or maintaining position?
Okay, I'm going to say something. Master will understand this, right? So the 2027 politics is going to be different. The North, this is one issue the Northerners will battle with. The North will be interested, let this guy do 4 years and give us power back. That one will be on the table. So if they will be able to convince the Northerners to, because the North will be very wary of voting for a fresh candidate in the South. Trust me, take it to the bank. They will be very cautious of voting for a fresh candidate in the South that will come up do 8 years. That's a factor that will be on the table. If you understand, before 2023, one of the person APC were taking to give ticket was Goodluck Jonathan. You know the reason? The reason was they wanted Goodluck to do 4 years and give power to the North. That politics, it was so strong. Goodluck was a big option if you know what was going on. So politics, it really depends until you have the candidate. But here is my calculation. If you put Peter Obi in the ballot, Atiku, Erufai, Konkoso support that ticket in the North, they can upset Tinubu. But again, Tinubu know how to get into these guys. He's a real core politician. He can give anything to make sure you get your support. So that's the politics that will happen. A lot will go on. If they are genuine with Peter Obi Erufai in the ballot, and they are genuine, the political leader in the North, they can sit Tinubu. But I don't think that will materialize.
You see, now that is the point I'm making, because people kept saying he's master politician and everything. I'm saying if they are genuine, they really want it, they can get it. But my problem is that they don't appear to have enough drive for it. I don't see the drive in Atiku. I don't see the drive in Erufai. Erufai just feels a little bit hurt because him and Tinubu are not in good time. Maybe he doesn't like some things Tinubu is doing, but that is it.
Yeah,
Not
I
like
mean,
the way they didn't want Jonathan in office.
yeah, I mean, you see, I don't know. I try to understand what you guys are talking about, but at the same time, I'm like, where are we really driving at? Like, are we driving at no matter what it takes, we should take out Tinubu? I mean, we should oust Tinubu from power. Then who are we replacing him with? Right? That's what I mean by taking him out. Like, we should oust Tinubu in an election and we should oust him in 2027. So who are we replacing him with? The same circle of politicians?
But the question you have to ask yourself is: do you prefer to change the government that is corrupt to another corrupt government, or prefer to have one corrupt government that is totalitarian and ruling over everybody? That's what Nigerians
that's a good question, and I will
that's what
answer
Nigerians are contending with.
Yeah, so that's the good question. So what do Nigerians want? That's what we need to now start asking ourselves. Yeah, what do we really want? Do we want developments? Okay, yeah, it's valid. Tinubu's government has failed us. We all agree. That's the start. But the point now is, when Tinubu is replaced, who are we replacing him with? They say we don't want dictatorship, like you said. We want a government that will be open to, democracy and freedom of speech and all these other things that we want. But the point is, we've been on that path for 26 years, and things have gotten worse than where we were in 1999 after Salah Abdul Salam. So the point I'm making is, if we are making speculations about the election in 2027, and we are still not talking about the crux of the issue, connecting 2027 with the crux of the issue, we are still missing the point. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, when we kick out Tinubu, is it Peter Obi El-Rufai wants to put in power? Nothing is going to change. Even if Peter Obi is Hugo Chavez of Venezuela, in that system, that virtual system in Nigeria, nothing is going to change. Because you know what? Even if he gets to power, he's still going to, I've mentioned this before, maybe I keep repeating myself, he's still going to contest, he's still going to contest with the House of Reps and the Senate. And those ones will probably be filled with APC and PDP. I'm just saying, obviously, Peter Obi is not Hugo Chavez. He's never going to be Hugo Chavez. Maybe in another lifetime. But the point I'm making is, even if it's Hugo Chavez, nothing is going to change. Yeah, like nothing is going to change. And another thing I was going to say is, you see, this is where we need to educate Nigerian people. You see, we cannot have this so-called democracy and development. You cannot have it together.
Why not?
Let me say
that's the goal. That's the goal. That's what we want. But in reality, it's not. Where in the world is this happening? America. Look at the challenges we're having here in America with liberal democracy and what Donald Trump is doing. I'm not a Trumpist, but I mean.
DJ, let me say this. Let me quickly say this. Sorry. Let me just see. If you want to be honest, forefather, many times I have said it. Nigeria politicians are the same. Then you guys want to slaughter me, but one day you guys will know. Let me tell you, any group that want to replace Tinubu, they are fighting for themselves. That's just the honest truth. Both Tinubu and the group coming.
I agree with you. Exactly.
Hold on, Jide. Until we have proper electoral reform in such a way that the power to elect anyone will be with the people, forget about it. Until the people have the power, forget about it. Nigeria politicians are not interested in development.
I think I see where you're coming from. Like if you say in Brazil, if you say in Brazil, right? If you say not even in Brazil, if you stay in Latin America, the kind of electoral system they have is also a multi-party system. However, the difference between what you have in Latin America and a country like Nigeria or Africa is that Latin American political parties and the Latin American people, they are able to understand the relationship between the political class and their own class. In Nigeria, the Nigerian people do not understand, or they are ignorant, or it's just the way we are. I don't know if it's just in our DNA. So what I'm trying to say is that, like, if you look at, for instance, in Brazil, right? The Brazilian people voted for Lula. He's a leftist politician. It is, it's the political party of Lula is very ideological. You understand what I'm saying? But if you look at a country like Nigeria, I agree with AY. Electoral reform is one thing. But the other issue that we need to discuss is there is no political ideology in Nigeria with all these political parties. They are just a bunch of bourgeoisie. We call them bourgeoisie. That was what this my mentor.
The bourgeoisie.
I've forgotten this my mentor. How would I forget my mentor's name? For crying out loud. Frantz Fanon. Yeah. Frantz Fanon, one of my political mentors, is dead now. Frantz Fanon, he called them bourgeoisie. They just move from one place to another, like football club, football players. Ronaldo moving from Juventus to Al Hilal, just like that. They just moved from APC to PDP to Labour Party. But for some reason, because of our foolishness as Nigerian people, we believe that for some reason, these people will still solve our problem. Because
I think sorry, let me just add this. I think what you said about democracy and development not going hand in hand. There is some evidence to that to an extent in terms of most nations, like in the case of Lee Kuan Yew's this in Singapore and many, even South Korea, you have to have a period of strident rule of, everybody has to be in sync to be able to make significant progress in a relatively short period of time. Democracy is very sluggish.
But you need to understand something. You mentioned some countries, but don't forget that South Korea's path to development was not true liberal democracy.
No, it wasn't. It was a dictatorship.
True a military dictatorship. Yeah. That should be pointed
That's
out.
what I'm saying. That
Yes.
Even in America, if America or Western nations, whenever they are stressed, you start seeing that dictatorial aspect to them again. Just watch Western societies when they are stressed. Like now, if you look at the way they are treating what's going on in the Middle East, they act as if they can't even see it. There was a time when one bomb falls, they can see it clearly. They will say, "Oh, this is not right." Now they are evaporating whole neighborhoods after the other. They pretend as if they cannot see it because they are willing to be very, very dictatorial when it suits them. And when you need to get things done, you have to be a little bit dictatorial. Even in America, Trump is a little bit dictatorial right now. And it's going to get worse.
That's why we have this crisis right now in the US. We have a lot of crisis right now in the US. This issue is a very big issue. This thing about, because the liberal class, when they were in power, they failed the people. Now this man is there, even though I don't agree with his policies, but he's making a lot of radical changes and it's against the people. So what do we really want?
Democracy has never always been democracy. I don't know. Maybe that's our mistake. We misunderstand democracy to mean the way we understand it now, democracy. But that's not how it is in the West. That's not how it is in the West. If the West was suffering the way we are suffering, their behavior will be very different too. Not this one we are seeing right now. They will be very, very tough. The way they will treat their own citizens will be a lot harsher than the way they are treating them now. So that is what let me mute him. So maybe it's our own misunderstanding that we are suffering and we want freedom of speech and all these niceties and all the rest. But them, the moment they start feeling the heat, you see the rules change and they become very muscular too. So maybe the democracy we call democracy, we don't truly understand it. And we behave like India. If you look at India versus China, China has progressed far more than India. Because India is trying to practice democracy like the way we are practicing it.
Yes.
Democracy is very sluggish.
It's very sluggish.
It's very sluggish.
You see, and these are the things these are the kind of conversations we need to be having because like you always say, forefathers, and I think some people, I think AY2 mentions it sometimes. The part that we are in right now, and I know I mentioned it earlier in the previous live, that we are now in a period of existential crisis. And when I mean existential crisis, we're talking about survival. Nigeria is currently the poverty capital of the world. We cannot be discussing politics like we're discussing politics in 2003 about Tinubu or Obasanjo or Peter Obi. These guys, they failed us. We need to start having the conversation should be about how we need to kick them out, all of them. They failed us. They keep failing us. We're talking about how
we not had the conversation. We know what needs to be done.
No. I'm not criticizing us in that. What I'm trying to say is that I'm just trying to follow up that the point is we don't know what we want. It seems like we don't really know what we want as Nigerian people. Like, we don't really know what we want. What do we really want? Do we really want development? Because if we want development, I don't care if it's Tinubu. If Tinubu is there and is a dictator and it's like, we want national sovereignty and want us to develop. And like someone like what's the name of this guy? The China's chairman, Xi Jinping. I don't care how he looks. I don't if he's implementing policies like Xi Jinping, if our political system is like China and we're moving forward, I don't care if Nigeria is a democracy or not. All those criminals in Senate, I don't care. As far as Nigeria is moving forward, that's what we should be talking about.
But in the case of Nigeria, we are getting the worst of both worlds. We want to have a dictatorship that is designed not to As a matter, it's designed to ensure we don't progress.
Agree. Yes,
that is designed to ensure we don't progress. That is
which
the
is the
worst
of it. And we've had it before. I agree. I completely agree. We don't want to get back to that. I understand. I agree. But the point I'm making is we cannot go back to where there's freedom of speech, like Jonathan's time, and things are still going to be very bad. You understand? It's still, you understand what I'm saying? I would like, if you want, I mean, what I would like is, I would like there should be freedom of speech, liberal democracy like you have in Sweden, and everybody has, you know, there's development, you know, the political class, they are in sync with the people. They're able to invest in the people and, you know, provide for the people and develop the country. That's what we all want. That's what I want. But the reality is, it has not, you see, in Africa, that has not been the case. Even someone was talking about Lee Kuan Yew. Lee Kuan Yew was a dictator. Singapore did not have liberal democracy, right? Lee Kuan Yew was a great leader. Stalin was a great leader. Vladimir Lenin. These are guys. These are the kind of people that we need in Nigeria. I won't lie to you guys. These are the kind of guys that we need. But do we have those kind of guys? I don't know. But those are the kind of guys that we need, that understand what is really going on, how we are feeling right now about talking. They're able to understand that the Nigerian people, the African space, we are currently in an existential crisis. And that is what Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso are aware of. And that's why they're pursuing the policies that they're pursuing. I would have thought that Nigeria would have followed that path in forming alliance with them. Because if you look at the map, if you understand geopolitics, we can collaborate with these guys and continue to work with them. But
hold on. This Njide, the Nigerian leader went and made himself a 5 years president recently, and I'm not very fond of that. Why these? At least I don't know whether he has even resigned as a military dictator. For the life of me, our leader, our own dictatorship, they are like, I don't know what to describe them. They have this complex where they cannot put down their uniform and transition to becoming a civilian leader. Egypt did it, even if he wins 90% of the vote. Kagame wins 90%, 99% of the vote. He's a civilian. I don't know why these West African ones. Museveni. I don't know why they just hang on with their uniform. They can't put it down. It's a very childish thing.
For Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, we need to understand that currently they still have some security challenges. I know that was also part of the.
So does Rwanda and all the other countries that did it.
But is it not the same you? How long did Lee Kuan Yew stay?
Lee Kuan Yew was not a military leader.
No, how long did he stay in office? Forget
over
about
30 years. Over 30 years.
And I think that's where we are mixing things up. Okay. The bottom line is power dynamics and development.
I agree with you on that.
So power dynamics and development, but the point is we cannot put
I'm just saying what I don't like. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. I know that there's more important things than that. Even if you are, I don't care whether you are wearing basket or wearing whatever you want to wear. You as long as you deliver for the people, that's more important. But I just feel like
I've said it before. What I will advise all of us, okay? The way I see it fundamentally, all of us are praying. And I think our case has gone beyond prayer. We can do things. We can make things happen. And I think we will have to make things happen. And if you take, say, Stalin, you take all these people that you keep mentioning, it looks like they are the only people, but I will get to break it to you. There has never been a situation where only one person woke up one day and say, oh, I'm going. It doesn't work like that. It's a group of people. But obviously, as time goes on, somebody becomes prominent. I give this.
I think you are taking me out of context. I didn't say that Stalin
just woke up. No, he's not talking to you, GD, not to you. Don't worry. Go ahead.
I'm not joining issues with anybody. What I sit back, I listen to people, but what I hear from everybody is we are praying that somebody will come from somewhere. And whether it's a dictator, whether it's to solve our problems. But I'm saying that I've done the analysis. Honestly, yeah, maybe we can do the waiting, we can do the prayer, but I'm saying that I've seen it another way. where we should take things into our hands and make things happen. And it's possible. It may not be in 2027. And the truth is that this 2027 is too short a time to think that in 2-3 years you can change the trajectory of a country. It's especially a country that has decayed so much, so like Nigeria, where small children are talking about money. No, there's no fabric of society whatsoever. You listening to people, educated people, somebody will just come and start saying that Osibajo actually went on TV, and you just wonder, like, really, where are these people coming from? So I'm just saying that we can continue to pray, but I think what is going to save or serve us better is to spend time asking ourselves, what can we do and how can we do these things that we decide we will.
You know what? I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
But I'm saying that this night will be well spent if we start asking ourselves, even if it's just, okay, so if not this system, we're not happy with democracy, what is the other systems that are up there?
Masca, AY knows, I don't know about Tony. Tony is still part of APC, but it's all right. We're all at the journey. We're all at the journey. Ebe is still part of a different group. We all have our journeys, and GD knows what to be done. So at least we have a majority.
What is to be done for fathers?
First, personally, I believe that you have to have an ideology, and the core of the ideology is to solve our existential crisis. That has to start from there. You start putting the ideology in place, and then obviously you have to also.
So you see, even right from there, you see me, I disagree with you.
Okay,
I think I agree with forefathers, but
me, I disagree with him. Let me tell you why I disagree with you, forefathers. Because I think, for me, what we should do as a people is not about existential. The problem is not really, that's what it looks like. But Nigeria is still a great place. The potential is still there. We can sell to our people prosperity and possibility. I sit here in Nigeria. I know what this country can be. Why can't we just roll our sleeves and make it happen?
So how is that different from what I'm saying in terms of existential crisis?
Okay, so one is a fear factor for me. It's like where we should tell people, if we don't do anything, we're going to die.
No. That's not what I mean. When I say it's going to solve
but we are dying anyway right now. People are dying right now. People are dying right now in the hospital.
Sorry, let me have him another bit. I think you are getting where I'm coming from a little bit. I'm not going to start telling people that you're going to die if you don't do what we want. I'm just saying that the objective of whatever manifesto you put in place is to deal with that existential crisis. It's not by telling people that you're going to be afraid. No, you do those things that enable the society to develop. Whatever thing you are doing, it has to enable and empower the society and strengthen it to be able to be resilient, to overcome the existential challenge we are facing. So it's not necessarily about bombarding people with fear message. Maybe that's where you think what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Word now for me. So like you are, I get what you're saying, but I'm just simply saying that, look, for me, what will sell better, what will sell to me as a person, philosophically, is the philosophy of opportunity, potential, and possibilities. The potential is there. The opportunity is there, and it's possible. All of us can make it happen. Nigeria can be the best country in the world. I think, for me, that kind of storyline will appeal to me more.
But you see, but it has to have a vision for it. It's one thing to say, okay, we can build a house, we can
not just a
build
vision.
The industry.
There's a cost to it. There's a vision, but there have to be a cost to it. We need to talk about the costs. We're not there yet.
One step at a time now.
So one step at a time. Let's do one step at a time. Because what I'm trying to say is that I get the all this is you are saying is part of the vision that comes from what I just said by dealing with the existential crisis. Existential crisis comes from the three major areas that we are lacking. If you look at under my listing, from security, law and order, and technological revolution, it will feed our people, it will give us a lot of progress, and it will enable us to determine our own fate. In terms
I
of
you completely forefather. All I'm saying is that we're all talking about the same thing. The only thing I'm saying that for me, you are saying you are coming from a problem where we have this problem, let's solve it. Okay, isn't that what you're saying?
Yeah, I said manifesto. The point of view of the not manifesto ideology. If you want to create an ideology, that is, you will say, okay, that is the objective. But when you are drawing the ideology, it's going to come across as some of the things you are describing. You see what I mean?
I see. Okay, so let me put, and I like this discussion we're having. I like it because to me, these are the important discussions we should have. To start with, you are saying that we have a problem of, let me look at it, security, law and order, and technical revolution.
Technological revolution, yeah.
You are saying one way, in one language, one can say that you are saying that these are the problems we have now.
The core that can solve our existential crisis.
And I'm saying, my opinion is that you can't start even bringing these issues up until you sell a prosperity vision to the people. And then once they buy into that vision, it's like, let's go to Ghana or let's go to Dubai. Then the challenge now is, okay, so what do we need to go to Dubai? Because people need to, generally as human beings, that's why religion will sell you paradise. Without paradise.
I don't know why we are apart a little bit. I think you are correct, what you are saying. Okay. Because there is no way you will sell to people, oh, we are dying, come and join me, otherwise we will die.
Or the security as
that's how it works. You have to, even the Bolsheviks didn't come out and say, oh, come and join us, otherwise you Western Europeans are going to enslave you. No, that's how they gave people 5 days working week. That's not how it used to be before. They gave people.
I can tell you that's the storyline the Bolsheviks sold, and that is why probably it failed, because they didn't articulate the paradise very well.
They didn't fail. Oh. I don't know
where it goes. They did not fail at all.
But anyway, you see, this is what you do.
They succeeded. No, you are the one saying stuff when you are getting it wrong, and you are saying when they correct you, you say they are.
What I'm saying,
there's somebody new now waiting.
No, just hold on.
What is new? Is it Eme?
Yeah.
Eme is new. Hey, Eme is not new. He's a troublemaker. I deliberately I'm trying to avoid him.
Yeah? What I'm saying is that this thing, you do it a lot, and I think it's good if you take note of it.
Okay.
That the Bolsheviks get it right or wrong, it's not the argument we should be having now.
You are the one.
The argument or the discussion we are having, and I like it, is whether we should sell first the paradise to Nigerians and say, look, this place is a potential paradise. Or we talk to them about security, law, and order.
But wait,
this place, the potential paradise, has failed repeatedly.
Okay.
That's what our leaders tell us all the time, that, we are supposed to be rich. We are going to solve all the problem. I get what you are saying. My point is that if you want to sell it to them, you have to have an overarching objective that message you are selling is going to serve. You see what I mean? Like when people say you have to follow Christ, they have the idea that in the end is to go to heaven. That is the overarching objective. If you don't have a core objective, that is the inner working.
That's your core objective.
Let me say this.
To be honest, the core objective.
Hold on, Father. We used to have those kind of like idea of selling Nigeria to the younger ones. It's just like when you hear the phrase, the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. Now, they now know that this is a fallacy. This is not true. It's a scam.
I swear. I will never forget.
Papas are ruling for them.
I will never forget primary school. Leaders, children are the leaders of tomorrow.
When you look at society,
I'll never forget Children's Day.
Hold on, Jide. Even in terms of jobs, right? When I was growing up, right, myself, like, we used to look up to some bigger bosses. Maybe you see the person, they'll tell you, oh, this person is studying mechanical engineering, is working with Chevron. This person is studying this, is working with Shell. This person is studying this, is a manager in Zeniba. You are kind of motivated. Now, they see, the young one will see their elder brothers, they graduate from university, they are at home doing nothing. That is where you hear the slogan in Nigeria now, who school help? You see a 10-year-old in Nigeria now, they will tell you to your face, who school help? Come go school, who school help? They are not impatient to go to suffer through 6 years of secondary school. They are not interested. They are not interested in going to university, spend 5-6 years. So there are issues. They need to be seen result, to be motivated. When you tell you the young one, you told us long ago that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, where you still have Atiku at 80 is contesting, Tinubu at, he told us he's 73, but maybe it's 85, he's contesting. You see a lot of them, they are all age, but they don't want to give up power, you know? So how do you not tell me that again, you want me to believe? Yeah.
Can I chip in here?
Go ahead.
Can I chip in there? All right. So this also ties into my ideology. Okay. I've done a little bit of analysis. If you, this thing that that they used to say, leaders, no, youth are the leaders of tomorrow. Okay. And you mentioned also that it's like the old people are not giving power to the youth. But guess what? The thing is actually upside down, or the other way around. And I think this is what, that's really the crux of the problem in this country. Take, for instance, Yakubu Gowon. At what age did they take power? The Malam Aminu Kano we're talking about, at what age do you think he started? Nnamdi Azikiwe, at what age do you think he started?
Even Buhari.
All these people, they started. It's not like anybody gave them anything. There's nobody that gave anybody anything. These were young people that started. And you remember, okay, maybe you are not on the panel that day, when that girl spoke, that youth corper that spoke, it was clear to me that this is what is missing in this country. People at that age, that's the age you take a risk. Me at this age now, my hands and legs, everywhere is tied I've lost innocence. There are certain things now I cannot do, even if I drink ogogoro, because I'm too old. But somebody who is 20, 27, 30, there are places you will enter, there are things you will say, and damn the consequences. And the truth also is that the consequences to that girl cannot be as much as the consequences it will be to me.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Even if they go and jail her for like 10 years, she will still come out and still live a wonderful life. I trust me, by the time they take me out for the next 10 years, I doubt if you guys will only come for my funeral. You get what I'm saying? So I'm saying that we need to also let the youths understand. Nobody is going to give you anything. The paradise is your own, is there, but you have to take it and make it the paradise.
Can I chip in? I need to talk about that. So the things I think, so you see, youths, I've even before I left that country, years ago, like I used to hear that thing, youth should take over power, right, from the old people, Tinubu and all these guys, right, that they are old. And they make cases about the former military head of states, right, Yakubu Gowon and all these Awolowo's and all the people that, the nationalists and all these people that shape the country that we have today.
All started at 20s and 30s.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I agree, absolutely. What we need to understand is these people were coming from a colonial era. That's number one. Number two, there was a vacuum during the colonial era that needed to be filled in. And this was filled in by people that were trained.
What you want to believe.
No, I'm trying to put this into context. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm trying to put this into context. I'm not disagreeing with you. Because you see, we need to put it into context to understand the dynamics of what happened in the 1960s and the youths of today. Why the youths of today are not all youths, but a lot of youths are lost. We need to understand those dynamics, the time and era and all those things. Those people were trained by the British. They were trained.
Are you saying?
The military.
What are you saying?
No, let me finish. Let me finish. No, let me finish what I'm saying. I've not finished. Let me just finish what I'm saying. I've not finished what I'm saying. I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere. So the point I'm making is, you are right that they were very young and they came into power at a very young age. But these were the four set of people, the four set of political class that came in. That I don't want to go too much into details on that. So now talking about the youth of today, like that copper. I've also had some of them also ranting and talking, right? Their complaints are valid, right? But the point is, these people, despite the energy that they have, trust me, man, their political education, I don't know them from anywhere. I've not had one-on-one conversation with them. But the truth is, their political education, man, is very, very low. In fact, there was even one I saw on social media. Maybe that one did not trend. That one, I don't know if that one trended. That one was blaming Tinubu that maybe if Tinubu CUM, that maybe that's taking him a long time to CUM. Maybe that's when he will start making things get better. Like, we need to understand that level of thinking. To understand, like, we need to understand that.
So today, if you're listening to me, what I'm saying, me and you now, we should take responsibility to do that political schooling. We need to collectively take that responsibility. The options today that we're all contemplating is that some Messiah will come. I'm saying no Messiah will come. And even if when he is in the process of coming, he is a Messiah, by the time they dropped him on this system, the messianic components of him, the system will remove it. He will just end up being an ordinary person. Okay?
Yeah, I agree.
The only thing that looks feasible now, or at least one of the things that look feasible, is for us to conscientize our people. And the people, it's not old people you're going to go. You take, for instance, this answers. How many 50-year-old were there? It's the youth.
Mm-hmm.
To make them understand that what they did is correct, it's not wrong. But this is how you should refine it. And you have to keep at it constantly for you to take your country back.
I agree with
you. Having not to say the idea that because
I agree with them. I agree with
that idea that will give power to young people. No, the young people need to understand that they have to take the power. These old people they are seeing, they took power as young people. And if you don't collect it from them as young people, that's how it will continue.
I agree with Masca.
Masca, this goes to the point that's why I was asking a question before. That those countries that transformed themselves, the leaders understood the ecosystem that they were existing in, and they made the necessary adjustments to be able to take over power. Our young, we are not producing the kind of young people that can think at that scale, where they can understand the environment they are operating in and act deliberately to alter the environment. However, sometimes events can lead those things to
occur. Correction for father. Just a small thing. It's not that we are not producing. We are producing, but when you produce a machine, you need to configure that machine. We are producing the youth. We are just not configuring them correctly.
That's what I mean. The outcome is not there. It doesn't give them. And Nigeria is a very difficult place to get a geopolitical knowledge of what is going on and the environment you are in. It's a very tough place to do that because we are outside. Many of us have been outside. All of us here have been outside. Maybe that's what gives us the overview to be able to see clearly. But if you grow up in Nigeria, it's tough to fully understand the full scope of what is going on within your environment. And if you can grasp that, then you can be able to deal with the challenges you are facing. Like all these leaders that transformed their nation, most of them went outside, including the Bolsheviks. All of them were outside.
Yeah, Lenin was in Germany. Lenin was in Germany.
All of them were outside. So you have to have an overview to see, oh my God, this is the mess that is going on, and this is what needs to happen no matter what it takes.
So let me ask you a question.
I was going to further one before that said, but
let me ask your father a question. How many in percentage terms don't you think that Nigeria has a lot of people that are outside?
We have a lot of people.
So don't you think that actually should be utilized? The fact that there are a high percentage of the citizenry that have gone out, shouldn't it be a basis, one of the things that we should utilize to bring the change inside?
It is a basis, But I think most of us, when we go outside, we are not going politically. We are going for survival.
So,
We
for instance, this is still coming back to what I'm suggesting. If you're outside, it only helps to understand that you have to have political interest, because you don't want to die where you are. But even if you die where you are, you should remember you don't want your children to die where you are. So it is in your own interest to become political, and not political in terms of Republican or Democrat, but political as far as Nigeria is concerned. These are the
I
things
agree
I'm.
with you, Masca. But people like forefathers, or maybe I will use myself as an example, or let me say everybody on this planet. The truth is, majority of people that jackpot or that migrated abroad, they are not interested in all these things that we're talking about.
They should be. We
They are
should
thinking
make.
about
Honestly,
making money.
I'm
They
interested,
are
DJ.
thinking,
Don't
no,
speak
that's
for
why I said,
yourself.
apart from we panelists, or you understand what I'm saying? Like, or people that are listening, or people that are making comments are
No,
interested.
Fafada is not interested. He loves white salad.
Majority are thinking about getting a green card, which is, I mean, it's not a bad thing, making money, buying a house,
What I'm
those kind
saying,
of
Jide,
things.
that is as is. I agree totally, but I'm saying that we should form a coalition where we should begin to conscientize the Nigerians outside to realize that politically it's important to do something about the country.
Is that not why someone like this lady, what's her name again? This lady that supports bring back our girls says that when she came on this platform,
Especially,
no, not
Aisha,
Ezekiel,
Aisha,
Aisha,
you see.
when she came on this platform and said the diasporans are like the most foolish people she has ever experienced. Seen. And
That bring back our girls. I need to talk about it.
look,
When
you're
you're
not
done,
discussing
when you're
about
done.
bring back our girls here,
No.
please.
I need to explain certain things.
Eme,
No, it's connected to what we are saying. It's very important. But
I
after
agree
you're
with
done,
you. I think I was on the panel when she said, but all I'm saying is that for me, for one thing, you will have different perspectives. You can think they are foolish, but I'm saying now that foolishness is an opportunity for you to re-educate the person, the
Of
diaspora.
course, definitely.
that bring back our girls. It was part of the move. See, it was controlled by. There's a lot of networks of foreign entities that control that bring back our girls movement.
No, you did. We
See,
understand. We understand how that was.
no,
No,
you
Did they
see,
wait.
no carry your girls where we
No,
don't
no,
know?
just carry us back out
That
anywhere.
You
We
see,
matter.
know, we
that
know that
that
story.
Aisha Yusuf, all these people, they are part of it. They are, you see,
No,
all these
wait.
people, they are all part of it.
Wait. It's because
Guys,
wait. It's because you've not found yourself in such scenario. There are times that you think you are doing the good thing, and you would have gone far in it, only to now realize that this is in the
You're
wrong
being used.
direction. You get the point. In fact, there's times that you quote it properly and you will not even know until you've traveled far. So there are some people, and it's not, I'm not saying, look, it's not wrong to be wrong. It's part of life. You get the point. It's part of life to be wrong. And the truth is, if you even want to change the system, we will still need to use the people who have been in the system.
Yes.
You can't deny that.
I think that's where we are wrong.
Wait,
That's
hold
exactly
on.
where we are
Hold
wrong.
on. This is my reason. Look, if you want to beat somebody in his game, you must understand the game first. If you don't understand the game, how can you counter? How can you strategize and say, okay? Because when somebody is good, when you call somebody an expert in a thing, for example, like our Nigerian politicians, it's because they have developed a pattern. There's a pattern that they work with. They've optimized that pattern that they get results with it. Meaning that they will also be dogmatic to that pattern because they believe that it's going to give them results. And that is the loophole, usually. Are you getting the point? It is people who have experienced it that can really understand the loophole, and then we work together and make it happen. That is one thing. But for me as a person, this is my point. In order to get Nigeria back, I believe, although I know that it might be kind of maybe a paper talk this time around, but I think it's better we go our different ways. Reason being that there's no way we can have that critical mass of goodwill anytime in Nigeria. Maybe hunger can make us get to that point a little. I'm not
No, you
sure.
see, don't buy that.
No,
But
Master,
I get
please.
your
I
point.
wait, sir. Let me land. I am trying to be realistic here because if the only factor that I think that can push us to that point where everybody forgets every reason to be divided and face one course until they are successful is maybe this hunger. But if, with the look of things, the way the politicians are arranging it, they know how to make sure that they don't get to that point where people are too desperate. They know how to placate the systems in the different ways and ignite that division. That before you know it, some people just be like, well, okay. And that is how they continue to run. I'm telling you the truth.
Okay, so I have two questions, Emi.
Yes.
Okay. One is a bit rhetorical, but we all know the answer, but I will still ask it, but I'll ask it after this first question. I'm a Muslim, I'm Hausa. I don't know your tribe, but I know you are not Hausa, and I doubt if you are a Muslim.
No.
Do you honestly tell yourself, convince yourself that if me and you sit down and begin to plot how we can take back Nigeria, do you think that, as I speak to you now, do you think that we will be divided?
No, of course. Are you saying that? No, Masca, the thing is this: when it gets to that point where decisions are made, okay, look at in Lagos, for example, when it got to a point where they need to decide who becomes the governor, what happens next? And for me as a person, sincerely speaking, I respect boundaries. And that is one of the things I have. I respect boundaries. I respect that even though I'm Nigerian, I don't see myself to become a governor of Kano State.
I understand what you're saying, but I'll come back and address it after I ask you the second question.
Okay.
The APC coalition.
Yes.
Did it happen or it didn't happen?
Now, the APC coalition, it happened, yes.
Okay, so was it across tribal lines?
Because there was a unity of purpose.
Don't assume where I'm going. Let's just answer.
Okay. No, it wasn't across tribal lines.
Okay, so I am putting to you that at this my level, me and you, our level, I believe if we really put our heads together, put our thinking heads, we can work together. I'm from the north, you are from the south, we can work together.
Yes, of course, I agree to that.
I'm putting it to you that these same politicians that you are saying that they are divided, even when the question of who is going to be the leader came up, they solved it. Even when the question of who is going to be the vice president came up, they solved it across tribal.
But the question is, were they solving it to solve our national problem?
The issue is all I'm proving to you is that the tribal divide cannot be a hindrance if you agree on your objective. They agreed on their objective.
Okay.
Because they have agreed on their objective, they sorted out the tribal divide. And I'm putting it to you, if me and you agree on our objective.
How many are these people compared to the 200 million that we are talking about? These people that
you don't need every.
Wait, no. Wait.
Everybody. No, you don't.
Do you guys really? Will you guys just understand where I'm coming from? There's a reason why I asked that question. Look, it's easier for a group of maybe 5,000 to agree, and they are the elites among the people to agree.
That's the point. That's exactly the point. You can have 20,000 people.
Yes.
Of Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa that will take over government. They are new people and they will take over government and they will.
You think that will happen in Nigeria?
Why can't it happen? Under unified ideology, why can't that happen? Why?
That is the point. When do you think we are going to wait now?
If it has happened in another country where there are different people,
I beg, they quote another country. Nigeria is different. What do you mean it can happen in Nigeria?
No, it can happen in Nigeria.
Under how?
20,000 people out of 200 million. Are you kidding?
How?
You don't even need 20,000. 20,000 is too much.
And 20,000. Can that 20,000 make difference in this Nigeria?
Yes.
I mean, wait. Maybe if we are looking from the angle that if they continue to persist for the next 10, 20 years and stand on the ideology, eventually they will win.
No.
Maybe if we talk about that.
Let me put it this way.
There's no way. Right now, the only thing that can unite everybody right now is hunger. I'm telling you
this is what people say, and it's absurd. It's absurd.
It's not absurd. Masca, there's a reason. Wait. Do you know what I mean by hunger? Hunger is this. This is my definition of hunger. When you sit down as a graduate, or as a lecturer, or as a federal worker, for example, and you begin to evaluate your remunerations, and you see that I was better 5 years ago than now. You know, those kind of waking up, that you realize that your money, you used to buy a car for 800,000. Now that same car, even now it is Nigerian used, you need to buy for 4 million, 5 million. And you are not even getting that money, because to even say 4 million, 5 million. Now that is the level of hunger I'm talking about. It will begin to be. Wait.
I need to stop you on this, please.
You've not let me speak. Let me speak first. Guys, let me speak my mind.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me speak my mind. Thank you. I'm sorry, AY. Nobody say I won't stop you, but I just want to pass my message before you guys assume, say, okay, you know what, they talk. Look, that is the only thing that everybody can come together and understand as one language. I'm telling you right now. Because
okay.
you see, we are
disagreeing. It's your opinion, but we are disagreeing vehemently.
No problem to that. And why do I see that? Because for me as a person, I see that if we don't understand that there are boundaries, we want to make Nigeria like it is homogeneous. Whereas no, Nigeria to live, if you want to live, Nigeria is like an equilibrium state. It's not homogeneous.
No, I don't try to make Nigeria homogeneous.
You must respect. We must respect boundaries. Because why I'm saying this is this. The system we are running, we never let the best of us lead us.
If we wait for the system to let us, this is the issue. We cannot afford to be. You are spoken.
Okay, yes, no problem.
Maybe first to talk.
Let me just say this, right? To be honest, I completely disagree with you. Like,
okay,
you don't even need 1,000 to take over that country. The truth is, you can see. Watch what Peter Obi did. Whatever you're gonna say, right? You gotta give him credit. Even though there were people from religion that follow him based on religion, some follow you based on tribe, they were people that followed Peter Obi based on what he was telling the people. He was giving hope to the people. He didn't give people money.
Who followed Peter Obi based on tribe?
There were people. It's normal. That's politics. There were people that followed based on tribe.
But this is how Buhari and MKO Abiola.
They were people. Sorry,
but these guys, they are still the same amount of
There were lots of people, thousands of people that follow Peter Obi based on what he was telling the people.
Is Peter Obi the president now? Is Peter Obi the president now?
Hold on.
Okay,
do you see Peter Obi as president in the next election?
Buhari was president.
Let me finish.
Everybody listen to Buhari.
Buhari was president because some power supported him. Don't just quote because he has numbers.
Let me finish. You asked me to wait. Now I waited. Be patient.
Okay.
So Peter Obi sold an ideology that people buy in, and people bought into his ideology, and a lot of people voted for him. What I'm just telling you is that was one man. If you watch Labour Party, who was there? Peter Obi was basically the only man there. He did have a lot of people that shared the same ideology that it became a bigger movement all over the country. Why I'm telling you that, just imagine you have like 20 Peter Obi with the same ideology all over the country. They will take over the country easily. So if you watch even MKO sold an ideology. Buhari for four times contested. Buhari, people believe in Buhari that he didn't believe Buhari ideology. That was why Buhari had a lot of followership.
Did he win? Did he win for those followers that he had?
You don't need to win. Abraham Lincoln.
So what do you do with those ideology then?
Listen.
Where's Buhari's ideology now?
Hold on. Look at the movement. You
guys are bringing theory to practical.
Hold on. Peter Obi did not win because Peter Obi had a movement. Timothy today, he has a movement. For you to win an election in Nigeria, even if Peter Obi is not contesting, you go and lobby Peter Obi. That movement is still there. 6 million people are still waiting for him. You need to get it. So what I'm saying, basically, you don't trust me. You have 10 genuine people that are ready to make a change. We can keep our differences and build and look for a way to take over that country and get it moving.
Anyway, no problem.
Hold on.
We are not different.
It's just that you don't believe in this stuff, right?
No. There's
somebody
a reason,
was telling you, hold on. So, well, no matter what you're going to say about APC, right?
Yes.
In 2014, 2015, they came together, both the Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Muslim, Christian, Pega, everybody. They came together, formed a movement, and took over the country.
Now, okay, I understand the point.
But the only thing you will say is what was their mission, you know? It's kind of different from what we try to create. But from that, we can really come together, irrespective of our tribe, of our religion, of our differences, and have a common goal and take over the country and take it to the direction we want it to be. That is what Master is basically saying.
Well, let me even ask Eme, honestly, what is the difference between me and you? Elaborate. What makes you different from me?
This is it.
Tell me.
Yes. Because number one, I'm a Yoruba man.
Okay.
You are a Hausa man, if I understand you clearly. And that is a difference. Because our ideologies, our cultural appreciations and values are totally different.
Okay, fair enough.
And no, just wait, sir. Let me be done. And that doesn't mean that I shouldn't respect your culture, even if you say that, for example, just in a quote, please. This is not. If you even go to say, "Oh, I rub shit on my face like this because I know it works for me." Me as a person, I know that is your cultural appreciation. It is in my duty to respect it that way. Even though if I don't appreciate it, that this is your place and this is how it should be done.
Let's not drag it. Okay, yes. How many Hausa people do you think are currently in Lagos?
Well, I'm not saying that.
Finger helicopter number. Just
I don't know, but I know that there are quite a lot of Hausas in Lagos.
Are they up to like 500,000?
There should be more than that.
Okay, do you think they don't respect the Yoruba culture in Lagos?
No. You see, it is not the reason I'm saying this. They do.
You do this, no, don't worry. Just answer my question honestly.
They do
that.
Yes.
Okay, so the issue is not of respecting culture. Let's also agree on that. We're only bringing it up because we want to create differences.
No. Wait, there's a reason for that. Should I tell you why I said that?
No, just give me 1 minute. There are millions of Igbos in Kano. And I know they respect the culture in Kano.
Okay.
You are in a place that's not your cultural domain, but you respect the culture there. All I'm saying and all I'm selling is that there are two parts of the human brain. Okay? There's the emotional brain. Anytime you take the emotional brain, of course, it will give you a lot of nonsense. But that's I'm saying, me and you, if we put our thinking cap, our logical brain, we are technically speaking, going to 100 out of 100, arrive at the same conclusions.
Okay, now, Master, let me ask you this question.
The fact of the matter
is
that me and you.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Just hold on, let me land this point. The fact of the matter is that, technically speaking, me and you are not different.
We are one and the same. When you say we are not different, that is not true.
Scheme of things. In the world, me and you,
we are different. We are different. I'm not saying we are better than each other. No, understand my point. We are different. But the reason we are not different is because we respect that difference and we walk along that path. That is the reason why we are not different.
And I'm saying that's I've used that.
No, when you say we are not different,
to make you understand that even as we speak,
yes,
as Nigerians, Hausa people are in Lagos and they respect the culture.
Now, do you know where I'm going with that? Because you assume, do you know where I was going with that statement?
Okay, where are you going to?
Thank you very much. Now, when it gets to we voting the right people in, what guides the Hausa people to make their votes? Is it by thinking or by head votes? By head leadership?
You have gone to the old dispensation. What I am telling you now, and I can expatiate. So these problems you're bringing, I can solve them for you.
Okay, that's fine.
In the end, for instance, this place is now, nobody is saying that a Yoruba man should come and rule Kano State. Nobody is saying that a Hausa man should go and rule Lagos. But I am simply telling you, as Nigerians, I am from Kano. I don't know where you are from.
Yeah.
But I will take AY for instance. Wherever AY is, me and AY, we can all agree, and the likes of AY, the likes of Femi, okay, Jide, sorry, the likes of KJ, we will all agree, the likes of forefathers, so let him not think that I've singled him out, okay, the likes of Tony. So you can see I'm trying to carry everybody along now.
Yes.
Okay, we will all agree that this is the Nigeria we want to see. Okay, it's not going to be completely the same. I don't want people selling beer, for instance, maybe in Kano. Okay, but there is a fundamental agreement we will have about the most important thing in Nigeria.
Now, that is one of the problems that we're talking about.
Wait.
Okay.
There should be security. There should be prosperity. There should be peace. There should be equity. This all, nobody is going to disagree with it. I remember I said if we put our thinking cap and not the emotional cap, not the hatred cap, not, oh, I like this one, I don't like this one. No, the thinking cap. So we can all agree that, okay, generally across Nigeria, these are the fundamentals. But look, Maska, go to Kano. You will be the governor in Kano. AY, go and be the governor in Lagos because you understand your people better. But among us, it is among us that one person, and that one person cannot lord over us. We are all going to be equals. Okay?
Nah,
we are all going to be equals.
And how is that possible?
What is not possible, for instance? What is there any possible thing that is not possible in life? People have gone to the moon. I don't know why you are talking like this.
Anyway, no problem.
I want to say something.
All right, let me just
I have to respond. I wanted to emphasize something that you mentioned, which was very
Jide, hold on. There are new people on the panel that haven't said anything for a while, and but you are going to say what you want to say because it's only fair.
Yeah.
But I wanted to share. Calm down now. Why are you hot today? I just wanted to share something that I'll be looking for about it. It gives me an impression of the kind of mindset Nigerian youths have today, because it's youths that are saying it too. So let me just share it quickly. It's a bit funny, but it's not, because it tells you something about what they are thinking and why the way they reason.
Come on, do unto others before they do unto you. Sharp. If you forget anything, but don't forget to do your own back. I don't tell you. Let them talk. No send their papa, even their mama. In everything you do in this life, no allow them kill you. Justice no day Nigeria. You know nobody knows tomorrow. Ajay, tomorrow na Sunday. Come on, doesn't exist. Do your own back. Do them now. If the finger that fits you fuck up, bite down. I don't go come. Forgive and forget, care. Even Lucifer collect. Don't forgive you. 99 days for the thief, 1 day for the owner. I be going to your the thief.
That last one is very interesting. 99 days for the thief, 1 day for the owner. Which one enjoy pass? So you can see the logic behind their way of thinking, that they believe the criminal behavior.
What do you mean their logic? What do you mean their logic?
You know the reason why they are thinking like this? Because this is what we are saying. If you born child, you didn't take him to school, you didn't teach him manners. Why are you surprised that he's a wayward child? Why are you surprised? Why are we surprised that our youths are wayward youths? This is the point. We all want to do what we want to do and think that the children will come up right.
Yeah, that last point.
This discussion we are having among ourselves, if we don't have it and agree that the country is going to tatters, this thing will continue.
I think another thing we also need to understand is this. So these young people that we're seeing on that content, you need to understand that they are basically a reflection of the Nigerian society. They are basically a reflection of the Nigerian experience, the Nigerian society, the moral values, the moral standards of that country has completely been diminished. It's almost diminished. So you see, when we're talking about these things, I mean, you can blame them for the way they think, right? But these people, they look up to certain people, their parents, elderly people. Those people have let them down. So,
and they know it too.
They know it, yes. They carry that trauma, so they become adults. And to manifest itself. And you have what are you going to have? You're going to have a further destructive society. It's quite sad and disturbing.
Some part of it seem a little bit quite you know, high level. But that last part really concerned me because
Forefather,
why we are
that last part, it has to also go with one that we used to say in our time, which is that the patient dog eats no bone at all. And that is what we have transferred.
That's what he was saying. Yeah, that's what he was saying.
We have transferred to our children. And that is why I do not accept, or rather, I'm finding it difficult to accept what Masca is saying. I'm not saying my Masca is wrong. I'm simply saying that me, from my own experience, if we are going to form a new political party, what this argument you are holding now with Eme is the same argument that Sadana of Sokoto held, which is Nnamdi Azikiwe many years ago. Nnamdi Azikiwe said, let's forget our difference. Sadana said, no, let's understand it. And I think that's the right answer. Understand your difference, then you can work from there to make a better nation. But the problem here lies in this issue. And me, with due respect to all the Fulanis, I say the Fulanis in politics, it's difficult to find where they're going. And that's why I find I'm also going to say to Masca, what happened with APC, that APC was able to take government was because there's an agreement with one of those two indices that's always causing the problem. The agreement here was on religious ground. So the certain individuals had already said to themselves, we want a Muslim ticket, we are going towards that direction. And then there was a working together. But if we're working from a point where the two indices in Nigeria is totally...
In 2015, it wasn't a Muslim ticket.
I'm coming, sir. This is my own opinion. I think I'm entitled to it. Now, when we now form this new alliance that they are trying to form, I can tell you for sure, without even going to sleep about it, that it will not succeed. Why is it not going to succeed? We have said here many times on this occasion that anybody who is coming to wrestle power from these people who are there now is not going to come wearing shirt, suit and tie. You're going to come with your boxing gloves. You're going to be ready to wrestle with the pig, because that is what they understand. They're not going to hand it over to you. They're already going ahead. They're already shopping for somebody to replace the man who is there, who may not want to do their bidding a second time. So they are totally prepared, not because they will have the grounds. Right now, we all know we didn't vote them, so we can't even blame Nigerian people. Nobody voted them in. We know what happened, okay? But are we ready to stop that thing from happening again? And how are we prepared about it? If you guys remember, when Peter Obi came, I said, have you sat down to find out what made you to lose and how you're about to do that? I say it doesn't waste his time looking behind. And I felt that that's a big mistake. And I'm still saying it again. I have a lot of people who are working with him who are close friends of mine. And I'm still telling them the same thing. If you people don't go and sit down and decide how to help this man, because when I say help, you need to have certain spirit. If you're going to take over power in Nigeria, you must first and foremost be desperate to do that. Power don't come to people who are not desperate. Okay, you also have to be able to play them one-on-one. And then look, if you watch the interview that Atiku Abubakar granted some days ago, from that interview, you know that he's not even ready to shift ground. They asked him if he's still going to run again. What did he say? He said the last time all of them came together and somehow they were able to find this thing. They support the best person. Are you going to run again? Because you have been the problem. It was your insistence that brought the failure in the first place. And this time you're still not coming up with a clear answer of what you want to do. Gentlemen, this is my opinion. And I may be wrong. But I'm not sure the opposition yet has been able to, fine-tune their strategy, and we're going to go for it. And let nobody be deceived. We have
There's no strategy, sir. Nothing.
This is where Tinubu.
It's not about the opposition, no. KJ.
Yeah, this is where Tinubu is.
It's not about opposition, but all I will tell you, KJ, for me, my response to all that you said is simple. Okay, what you are saying is because now they are not going to give power. Okay, so let's not do anything.
You see, now you're mistaking what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they don't give power. I'm simply saying.
So what are you saying?
Okay, listen to me. I'll give you a very clear example. let's look the example that's going on now in River State. River State. Now, they said to you guys, your governor and your house is messing up. So we bring an administrator and impose on you people, and the administrator has said to knock down all the political structures. And they are all sitting in their houses. They are sitting.
Which is what you're suggesting. That's
no,
exactly,
no, no.
He hasn't knocked down all the politics. I think it's for 6 months.
No, even if the scenario he pointed is okay, what you are saying now,
that is what I am saying.
Okay,
what I'm simply saying is that structure we need to put in place. It is people's structure to know that there's a time to arise and make the difference that you want. So if the people of River State thought that this was against them, they would have been in the streets.
Okay, so what I'm telling you, listen, KJ, what I'm saying, what I'm proposing here.
Nobody's going to give you freedom on a platter of gold. That's what I'm simply saying.
Who has said that? Yeah. Who has said that? AY, is there anybody who said this thing will come on a platter of gold?
No. You gotta work.
It's not.
That was why. I need to respond to that. I need to respond to that. So that's why I said we need to consider not just the vision, we need to consider the costs, because that cost we're not talking about it enough. I think I see where KJ is coming from, but it's still not hitting the nail on the head directly. We need to consider the cost. What price are we willing to pay to take power from these criminals? Because if we don't want to pay the price, we'll go and vote for Peter Obi. And I think that's why some of us want Peter Obi to win the next election or take power, because we feel we can delegate to one of them that is a lesser evil. But the truth is, if we really want to liberate ourselves, that's not going to be the solution. And Fofana was talking about existential crisis. He was talking about existential crisis. Why Nigerians don't really understand how existential, even though they are suffering, unfortunately. Our people are suffering. They still don't understand how existential is because of geography. I'll give an example. Geography and our environment. If you look at Latin America,
I think what you
Latin
said,
American countries.
What you just said now about the issue of putting ties on the wall.
I think someone is speaking. Okay.
Yeah,
I was saying something very important. Latin American countries, particularly countries like Nicaragua, Cuba, Venezuela, maybe Brazil to some extent, and some other few countries, Bolivia. If you look at the map, if you look at what America has done to them for centuries, and also look at the proximity they have to the US, it makes sense for the people to understand how existential the external forces are playing in their politics, in their country. But why Nigerians are not aware of how these same foreign powers are playing the same role in our countries? Because, number one, the proximity is very far. UK is far away from us. It's across the sea. And they use their institutions. That's number one. Number two, they are not living among us. They are not living among us. They are using us against us. But they are still using us. They are still controlling us. South Africa is the best example. You see, as in this panel, if two South Africans are here, the way they think about politics is going to be different. Because they can see the threats from that same enemy that is destroying our country. They can see it directly. We can't see it directly because they are not running our affairs directly.
Which is why I'm ready for further. I won't buy that existential enemy line. What I want to sell to Nigerians is prosperity. Every single local government in Nigeria has
we can't be prosperous without...
Hold on, Jide. Just 1 minute. All I'm saying, for me, logically, this thing is not rocket science. The issue for me to sell is the endowment about this country. There is so much endowment in this country that any fool would, anybody, you can articulate it so easily. Forget even mineral resources or oil. Even the agricultural landscape, even the entrepreneurship of our people, even the vibrancy of our people. There's so much you can sell to Nigerians to make them understand that, look, we can make a better life for ourselves. That's the starting point. I totally agree with you. It will come with a cost, but for me, if you ask me honestly, that cost is not more than just to put our emotional brains aside. just to put our thinking caps. There's absolutely no big deal. How many people are there? These politicians, today, how many senators? If you total everybody that has political office, they are not going to be up to 200,000. All of them. And I'm saying that there is 2 million, I'm sure there will be over 2 million Nigerians outside the country, all of them educated, doing some good work. And you are telling me these people that are all connected can't sit down, at least have some discussions, even if it's 10% of these 2 million?
Yeah, that's the point. Okay.
I think about
the most important point, where I will leave the debate for tonight, is that for me, first thing is, one of the things I'm beginning to like with Shore is that I'm beginning to see into his mindset. That guy is doing what he's doing, not as a typical Nigerian. He's not doing it because he thinks it will succeed or not succeed. He is doing it because that's the logical thing to do. It doesn't matter whether people follow you or they don't follow you, but you have to do what is the correct thing, at least to live with your passions. But everybody now here will tell you, oh, they will go to the end result and check first whether the answer will be correct before they come and continue solving the problem. No, a proper person that thinks properly, yes, can analyze, okay, this is the problem, this is a challenge. Like Jide is saying, what is the cost? I agree totally. But first, let's agree, what is the philosophy we're going to sell? Okay, we agree that Nigeria can be a paradise. If we all agree that this place is meant even by God to be a paradise, and let's work together to make it a paradise, then we can now say, okay, what is the cost? What is the time span? How much people do we need? How much time do we need? What is going to be the end result? What are the challenges? These people certainly will push back, but I will leave it on the fact that, look, we all need to understand that we should go back and look at our conscience, not at the result, whether it will be successful or not. If you want to go, and this is what is killing Nigeria, people will look for the party that they think will win and just vote for it. That's what we think. And so how are we saying that we are more educated than the bulk of Nigerians if we are doing the same kind of thinking? Okay, before you go to school, did you know whether you pass your exam or fail? You go there.
Master raised a very interesting point that I would like to emphasize.
Hold on. Let me just say something. I wanted to address the point you raised about sacrifice. I think what you are implying is that how much are Nigerians willing to give for this fight? Because most of our leaders that fought for where we got to, they actually.
How much are we giving by not fighting?
I think that is a fair point. However, the question Jide was trying to get to, at least that's what I anticipate he was trying to get to. Let me just share this. This is going to be about a minute of what somebody said about what the kind of sacrifice that they have made, because they were asking them what have they sacrificed. It's a TV program, but it was a very interesting statement, because that is what some leaders have had to do in their lives to do what they needed to do for their people. Let me just read this. So kindness, he lost kindness because of that. Love, and what else? He has given up all chance of inner peace, and lives in a sunless space. He shares his dreams with ghosts. You know, that was friends that have died and all of. And he wake up and realize that he's damned for all the things he has done. And basically, in the end, he said he sacrificed everything that he has got, including his life, happiness, all of them gone. That is the kind of level some people are willing to go to do for whatever they want to change. And sometimes if you don't have that kind of mentality, forget it. You are not ready to lead, especially in a country like Nigeria.
I agree with you.
Let others.
I went through that. Vietnam. I really need to talk about the story of Vietnam, because Vietnam story is very inspiring. Maybe not right now, but maybe not right now.
Yeah, I'll moderate it. Let him answer this, because he was the one that brought the point up.
Right.
Some of us been waiting for like.
Yeah, so I was talking about.
Oh, you have not said anything, have you?
Yeah,
we
yeah.
haven't,
I mean,
like,
yeah,
it keeps
yeah.
going back and
I'm not
forth.
going to take too long. I don't take too long, right? I would spend just a minute. I was going to arrive at somewhere. When you're talking about costs,
1 minute too.
like, yeah, I'm not going to take too long. You know, I don't take too long. Vietnam actually, like, the example of Vietnam. Look at all the things they had to go through. Look at the millions of people that died. Look at all the things they had to go through.
Melissa went for
Fighting two superpowers. And look at Vietnam today. Vietnam is a country to be reckoned with. Look at our country. But I'll stop there for now. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I speak the truth. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Don't start with me now. You're trying to kill us with all these different names.
But yeah, let me I was listening to Emmy and Masker, and before I go on, the last video you played with those kids, I want to ask Jide, not Jide actually, Emmy, 2 questions, and just briefly. Emmy, you want division, right? You want the country separated. Fine. How do you expect to achieve that peacefully? Then, second, you made the mention of Lagos. If the way the governors are being chosen right now, or being put in place to be chosen, do you really think if the country was split up into different parts, which of course the Southwest, if all things are the way I think you envisioning it, the Southwest will be one country. Do you think things will change in the political sphere using that same state as an example? Just briefly.
Okay.
Very, very briefly, because we are supposed to end in our 5 minutes based on specifications.
Yeah, for the division, actually, as I said, I know from what I said I would have wanted. That was my first statement, that I would have wanted that we go our separate ways. But realistically, it might be very improbable to achieve that.
Okay, impossible. Okay. So secondly, assuming it got chosen,
yes, the thing I believe is this. I believe in the survival of the fittest. Let the nation that can't survive, let them go. Now, I'm not saying I want to go and kill anybody, no. But
no. Do you think the politics will change in the way the governors are being chosen?
No.
Right now?
If they go hungry enough, they'll be innovative enough to see how they bring out their leaders. But now that would be my hungry. As a country right now, we are too large to do that. You have a lot of divisions that won't accept us to do that. That's my thinking.
So let me just go with my own opinion. Okay, so I think it is short-sightedness. With all due respect to your position, I'm not disrespecting your position. I just think it is short-sightedness, and I think Nigeria's differences are actually its strongest spots. Okay, so if we look, for example, we have places like even in Canada, where I think you reside, and in the United States, you have Quebec. Okay, you have the province of Quebec where people are different. Their culture is different. Their way of life is different. Their language is different. But still, they still try to live as a union. I've lived in Quebec before. I moved out there when I was about 18 or 19. I moved out there twice, actually, to Canada, and lived there and came back. So they're still different. And if you look at, for example, in the United States, we have the South. The way we do things up north is different from how they act in the South or how they act in the West.
Please try to keep it brief. You know, we have less than 3 minutes now.
That's fine. I've been waiting for.
You should have come in earlier. To be fair, you should have come in earlier.
I was waiting for over 40 minutes.
Yeah, we have to round up, please.
I understand. So let me just finish what I'm saying. So, in the end, we still have a way that we all live together, and I think that will be a strength in Nigeria. Now, to the part of that video that you played.
Sorry, the Quebec you quoted.
Yeah.
Can Quebec stand on its own today?
I think any country, if they wanted to stand on their own, as developed as they are, they probably could. Yes.
Okay, gentlemen,
and that is the point.
The conversation
That is
has been
exactly the
very,
point I'm
very,
making.
very solid today. I have to say, Masca came with his game and he really asked some pertinent questions, and I think we can take it home and kind of, develop it this way further. I think that we are almost where we need to be. We have different opinions on how we are going to implement it, but that said, it's all good. I speak the truth. Thank you for joining us, Jide. As always, thank you for joining us.
Is it possible to take us to backstage and let's continue?
Yeah. I can supervise it backstage. No funny businesses, no funny deals.
We are not funny
stuff.
people here.
Everybody have to give themselves.
Now.
It's not supposed to be that way, but because of just to round up this part of the conversation and stick to the thing, we're going to round up in less than 30 seconds. That said, all these viewers that don't donate money, God loves you. It's all good. But still, you need to donate. What is this now? Just because we are holding this thing, you will not donate 2 sessions, 6 hours, no money. One of these days, we're going to keep talking and we just stop talking until somebody donates this is some money. Because if Dr. Damages was here, there will be money will be rolling through. And you have 6 hours of important conversations being had. I understand you are really absorbed by the conversations, but still, dip your hand in your pocket and put it out there so that these people can support the channel so that we can all be able to be here.
It is the same culture of fathers we are talking about. We Nigerians, we don't know how to put it. Is it our money where our mouth is or something? We believe something will just happen from nowhere. Somebody will take responsibility. We all have to learn that culture to take responsibility to make the change that we want to see.
After KJ is done tomorrow, I will do a session and they better donate. This is going to be a problem. And we are going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem this thing with Nigerians. All right, gentlemen, thank you all for joining us. And let me round it up. And let me just call out some of the Boom Boom Ray, Chuk, the biggest hater out there. Dan Azaya, another hater. Okachaten, I don't know where that was done. Guy Walele, another hater. It's all good. Thank you all for joining us. This is very, very hateful chat. Very hateful chat. Light, thank you for joining us. What's that? Bubu Ray is there, but why is also there. Thank you all for joining us. Until next week. Actually, this evening, Dr. Damages is going to be hosting a show. Don't forget to join him. There's going to be an interesting interview. Till next time. Bye.